Hello, fellow homebrewers. JP here, and I want to introduce to you the brand new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Series available at More Beer. More Beer sells the highest standard in homebrewing equipment, and the Brewbuilt Conicals are just that. They're made from mirror-polished 304 stainless steel, and they come with loads of features that you and I have been looking for. They have a full 2-inch bottom dump valve, which will eliminate your clogging issues, while the sturdy base includes 4 reinforced legs, just like those big Pro tanks do. More Beer also carries the Brewbuilt line of options and add-ons like casters, pressure kits, and even external glycol chillers. So you can find out more about the new Brewbuilt X1 Conical Unitanks by going over to morebeer.com for detailed videos on the entire line of Brewbuilt Conicals. You can trust Brewbuilt with your next fermentation, and you can trust More Beer to find the right conical for you. Brewbuilt at morebeer.com.
Today's Sunday session is brought to you thanks to the fine folks at More Beer. Visit them right now at morebeer.com.
If you really want to be one of the best brewers there is,
I stopped dressing all in plastic.
You better be brewing 5 to 6 times a week.
Every beer is made with love, and it begs to be appreciated.
I need something to kill the salmonella I'm kind of worried about in the eggs.
Do you find that that the hops kind of clash with the chicken embryo you put in there?
I might sleep here tonight.
It's a California king. There's plenty of room for both of us, Beavis.
How many of the brewers over there have seen your ass?
That's it. Someone's getting cut tonight.
All I have to say is, hey, McDowell, how you doing?
Now, live from the Brewing Network studios in Northern California, this is the radio program for home brewers, craft brewers, beer lovers, and beer geeks. It's your only source for live beer radio that brings expert brewers together with, well, expert drinkers. This is the radio program with a head on it. This is The Session.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the program. Thanks for joining us on a wonderful evening in, what city are we in? Concord.
Yes.
Not Pacheco anymore.
No.
I almost said Pacheco. Sometimes I flash back to the better times.
Not Martinez?
The good old... Yeah, some reason Martinez just slips right out of my brain every time. But Pacheco, you know.
Pacheco,
fond memories over there.
Really?
Hey, welcome back to the studio, Nate.
What's going on? Thanks.
I haven't seen you in...
It's been years?
That's been a couple of years.
Weeks?
Right. It's been a while.
A couple of days at least.
I was starting to think you didn't make it out of whatever your last sickness was or something.
Just,
You're sick a lot.
Hell no. Hell no.
You are. Every time I see you, you're on antibiotics or something.
No, let's hope not. That's just doing a bad coincidence or something.
Maybe that's just always your excuse to not stay out and get drunk with me.
Maybe, yeah.
You're like, no. I'm
antibiotics,
antibiotic.
Can't do it. It's my liver trying to talk to yours or something.
Yeah. They're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Well, welcome in, Nate. Nate's joining us for the program tonight in place of Beardy.
Yeah.
Beardy's off getting a trim tonight, I think.
Yeah. No, he can't get rid of that thing. Wouldn't be right.
Can you imagine if he walked in here one day without that beard?
Get a Brazilian in it.
With a baby face, we'd be like, you are actually 12, dude.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee you we'd all do double takes. There's no way we'd recognize him.
Well, and I'd fire him instantly because
maybe he should get it.
All of his value is within that beard, right?
Sure.
His power.
You know, so if he ever shaves it off, he better keep it and just, stick it on his face every time he comes in here. So Nathan Smith will be hanging out with us today in place of the beard. Now, I want to thank our sponsor today, More Beer. You can go over to morebeer.com and check them out right now. If you're in the greater Concord area, and trust me, it's a great area, then you could just go to the showroom at...
or Riverside, California.
Oh, God, don't they have... Yeah, they have like 100 locations.
I think
Riverside, Los Altos, San Leandro
even
now.
Drew now.
Which is your hood, Nate.
We got 21A, we got Drake's, we got Clevis Queely, we got More Beer. I might never leave now.
No.
Except there's way too many reasons to leave.
Right. Well, a lot of reasons to stay, apparently. So check out our sponsor, More Beer, who bring you this show and every session that we do. Tonight's guest, we're going to be talking to our friend Derek Smith from Moylan's Brewing Company. He's the brewmaster up there and did a collaboration beer with Nate called More Cowbell.
More Cowbell.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. You might remember Moylan's from our last Moylan's guest, Brendan Moylan.
Yeah.
Who, let's be honest, is a nut job.
Mm-hmm. Is he going to make an appearance tonight?
I was wondering. We'll have to ask Derek. I did see Derek come in, and he was sans Brendan, so I think maybe he was able to ditch him. I mean, I think maybe Brendan didn't come.
The question is, did Brendan find out that you're doing the show tonight?
Right. Yeah, he must have not told him. Hey, what are you doing tonight, Derek? Oh, nothing. There's a little interview.
Only night.
What kind of interview? It's
NPR bullshit.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be into it.
Nothing fun.
All about hops.
Because if Brendan's here, a Martian may have followed him here, just like last time. You never know.
Well, and then
He needs a handler.
Yeah, and he has one. And in
Even
fact,
that
his
doesn't work.
handler ended up handling us too because we needed help.
Yeah, we all got drunk.
Yeah, Brendan.
Well, and when he showed up with that whiskey, I knew that was over. Then.
Yeah, that guy's a party. So, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe he'll make an appearance. But it doesn't matter because in the meantime, we've got Brewmaster Derek Smith hanging out with us tonight. We're going to learn about Moylan's beer. They won a GABF medal this year. Yeah. And then we'll find out all about this collaboration beer with Nate. Nate's like Mr. Collab.
He is.
Right?
I won't turn down an invite.
Yeah. Just
went all the way to Brazil for one. That was great.
That's right.
I'm a whore.
Exactly.
All right. So we got a lot to do tonight. We're going to have fun doing it. And it's my last show for 3 weeks.
I know.
Which I'm really, really excited about.
You probably shouldn't be this excited. You are at a level unprecedented in being history.
I'm telling you, I daydream nowadays about ways to not do this show. Like ways to
nowadays?
I have been doing it for a while. Yeah. But before they're much more realistic. I spend an inordinate amount of time nowadays thinking about my exit and how to divert like the sponsor stream to another way so that I don't have to be here, basically.
Your audience loves you. You can't do that.
And yeah. Well.
You can do a comeback, and then it'll be even bigger.
That's what I'll do. I'm leaving so that I can make a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
What would you guys think, for example, if I decided to take a year off, but I would still deliver content back for the show? In other words, I would hit the road for a year.
You doing golf lessons again?
And and I would do the show from the road myself sometimes, like I did a few years back. And other times I would just sort of generate content and send it to you guys to do the show here on the other weeks. And, hey, Beef, turn off your microphone. See, this is why I need to quit, because people like this drive me nuts.
Sorry.
Anyhow, just, I'm still fleshing out the concept, but
I feel like
how does it fall upon you right now?
I feel like it'd be really boring.
For you.
Yeah. And for our listeners.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Why? You guys do a great show without me. I mean, I've listened in.
Well, I think it's either the session takes a year off, and then we divert all of the sponsors to the other shows and push those shows.
Oh, I don't know that they'd pay for that, but
I think that they would.
That's a great idea, because then I wouldn't even have to do
anything.
The content.
You wouldn't have to do 30 minutes of work a week.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to talk myself into that, Tasty.
But then all of our rates go up. You'd be paying more for the Dr. Homebrew, tell you that.
Right. But that's okay. I mean, I'd be
hell yeah, I'm all about it then. Get my Monday night back.
All right. Well, I'll think about it. We'll see what happens.
You're selling enough kegs out there to float this whole thing, right?
Well, no. That's the problem. Is the BN is not doing any better. In fact, maybe it's doing worse. Here than it was a year ago, or 2 years ago, or when we were in Pacheco, for that matter. Yeah. But that's why I'll just not take a paycheck for a year. Is what I'm thinking.
You got to go back to the garage.
Because Kate the Great, she gets a paycheck,
Yeah.
And our mortgage is covered, So I just...
So you're more of a short-term guy than a long-term guy.
How do you mean?
Like a retirement or any sort of...
Well, he's done his 11 years. Now he wants his liquidity event.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I'll be honest. If I do have... even bigger daydreams about early retirement, yes.
Oh, for sure.
But I'm thinking that even with early retirement, I don't want to wait that long. I'm thinking I just kind of want a year on the road.
Yeah.
And in all seriousness, when I think about this year on the road, I do think about generating content the whole time. Like, the point would be to somehow spice up the show a little bit and do some different things from the road. But I do still have this problem of Monday night, which is that something is supposed to happen here at 6 p.m. on Monday nights as far as our listeners and our sponsors are concerned.
You just fly in.
That's the problem I have to fix.
Fly in Monday and then leave.
Fly in every Monday.
Take the show on the road.
The whole show on the road. All of you want to go travel for a year.
I'd do it. I ain't got shit to do.
We go brewery to brewery. Well, this is my show idea anyway. I think I was going to do.
Yeah.
Do like collaboration beers, talk to the brewer, hang out.
Yeah.
A lot of video stuff.
I like it.
And then you go like in a circle, then like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, you circle back. Then you have a tasting event at the same places.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Then you pick another part of the country and do another circle.
So I love that idea, but I work for free, basically. Yeah. So for me, it's cheap. We have to get sponsors to cover that, which is possible. Yeah. I mean, I'm not leaving tomorrow or anything.
Well,
Don't
we'll
worry.
be using ingredients.
It's going to be a week or two.
I'm thinking ingredients would be the...
Yeah, I see. Suppliers, ingredient suppliers, yeah.
Really, if I may.
You may.
Thank you. I think the main issue is you want to be alone.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't want us around.
That's certainly part of
he wants to get away from
us. So there's no way we're going to go with him because he's like...
even worse.
I mean, let's face it.
You'd have to herd cats and try to...
Yeah.
But that was smooth. Where it wasn't like... oh, no, screw all of you. It's, sponsors and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We're not the happiest team that was ever a team.
But we're not the worst. I'll tell you that now.
We might not be the worst. I just, I feel like the world is passing me by as the longer I sit behind this desk and do this show.
Yeah, because you don't get out enough. You don't have enough fun.
I don't. Yeah. Not nearly enough. I'm going to be dead soon.
What do you want out of life, Justin? What's your end goal? Like on your deathbed, what do you want to be the happiest moment, the most productive, the most proud moment of your life? If you could have anything.
To retire and do nothing.
So when you're like 80, assuming you
I got it.
60 on your deathbed.
40.
60's too late.
Yeah. No, and then you go, and then you're just winding down. The blips are getting farther apart on the heart monitor.
Yeah.
And the doctor comes in and goes, "Mr. Crossy has only a few more moments."
Okay.
And then we go, Justin, let's reflect on your life. What would you like to really think about? What's your happiest moment? Let's go there. Let's go to your happy place before you, stop breathing.
Boy.
Would you say the moment I had to not work ever?
Yeah. And, of course, that moment is in the future, so I'm just guessing, but I'm 99.9% sure that will be my greatest moment.
It wasn't like leading the movement for better craft beer. No, it wasn't having an impact on the industry that you made a living at.
No, because half the time nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, but the other half, people give a shit.
Yeah, you're right. But my glass is usually half empty. So, yeah.
Spoken like a true burnout over here, man. Just give this guy a vacation, man.
And that's what it is. I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out.
Get this guy a pair of Birkenstocks and a VW bus.
That's right. Yep. And I have one of those things already.
You have a left Birkenstock?
Yeah. I'm tired of begging for money, and it's been a long time.
Tell me about it.
I'll tell you what it is. I enjoy, once we turn the microphones on, I'm having fun again.
Yeah.
But, thinking about it all day, I just go, I could just get in that Volkswagen and not turn around.
Just go.
I got a clean pair of underwear in the drawer in the back and a full tank.
Wear those 4 times. What does Kate feel about this? Have you pitched this to her?
Kate's down. Kate lets me do whatever I want. I could disappear as long as I want. She would like to disappear with me, I assume.
Yeah. But for a year, she'd be cool with you.
I think
She's going to do her. And you're going to do you.
I think she'd want to come with me, actually. Which I don't know how that's going to work because one of us got to have a paycheck.
Right.
God knows it's not going to be me.
She's being lazy at that point.
Yeah. No, she would do some or all of it. But look, to answer your question, if it did work out where I was like, hey, I'm out of here for a year. Yeah, she'd be fine with it. She's cool. I would still, no matter what, I'd have to come back periodically. Sure. I have a bar to run. Mm-hmm. We have different events that I can't really forego. We still have our Winter Brews Festival. We still have the Great American Beer Festival. I'd come back for NHC. I would pop in for things.
Sure. I think that's a great idea.
So I'd see her several times.
You'd have a Sean O'Sullivan schedule. You'd be like traveling.
Just be on the road the rest of the time. I got an RV now. I can just live in it. I mean, the world is my oyster.
I think we should revisit the idea of doing a Be-In on the Road show, not just for B&A, not just for the anniversaries, but like an actual thing where we take it from brewery to brewery and do games and do like a meet and greet, maybe not.
Sounds like a lot of work.
But
I want to do that. I just don't want to do it with you guys.
Oh, there you go.
Well, you were the one who pointed it out earlier.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I was hoping that
So just phone it back in here every once in a while. So you don't have to see.
If we happen to be here.
Basically, all I'm saying is I just want to phone it in for the rest of my life, really. But I'll settle for a year.
Take a year and see how it goes. I bet it'll be great.
So that's the other hard part. When I think about this realistically, I go, all right, I could pull it off for a year. It really would be no big deal, and we could still generate revenue and content and all that. The problem would be after a year, I'd be like when I have to turn the RV around.
Yeah,
it'd be a hard thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to want to keep right on going.
Yeah,
you'd have listeners coming to find you. Would that be worse than us?
Find Justin in the jungle.
.com.
The new game.
No, you would look forward to the shows even less if you went out and did it.
Right.
Back.
That's what I'm afraid of. So I do have
You wouldn't even be. You already ran. You'd be gone for like tonight.
I mean, I'm 1 foot out the door right now, so imagine what I'd be then.
Once you had a taste of the open road. No,
call in your 10 minutes, and that'd be good.
I'm out of here. All right, well, just keep it in mind, everybody,
Yeah, thanks for the heads up. I'm going to start looking for another gig, I guess.
Right. Well, I'd like you guys to carry on the show somehow.
Okay, we'll do what we can.
We'll figure it all out.
You'll feel better after 3 weeks.
I don't know. Yeah, actually, you're right. And then I'll be like, see how good things feel? Why would I ever go back? All right, let me get through a few announcements. Here's a frustrating one for me. So I know that you guys are going to, some of you maybe already bought flights or reserved the date or whatever. So if you think you're frustrated, it was a whole thing for me. Winter Brews Festival. I mentioned last week, we had it set for the 30th, like we always have it. And I was thinking of moving it to the Saturday before, which was like the 23rd. But it turns out that there's a big event happening at Drake's that day as well. And I don't want to, we have a great...
They have a banner over the... They sponsor the Winter Brews.
They sponsor the Winter Brews Festival. I have a great relationship with them. And I don't want to do an event on the same day as somebody else. So I kept looking at moving it here and moving it there and moving it around. I finally just said, fuck it. I'm just going to get out of the way of SF Beer Week. SF Beer Week moved... And the Super Bowl. SF Beer Week moved to me, just so everybody knows. It's usually 2 weeks later, and it always has been. And next year, it'll be back to where it was, so we can go back to our normal date where everyone just leaves us alone. But this year, I could tell that the brewers were being pulled in different directions, and I didn't want to step on anybody's toes. So, long story short, we're doing Winter Brews Festival in April.
February just wouldn't work.
Yeah, I kept moving it around a week here and a week there, and just none of it was working out, and it wasn't feeling right in terms of getting brewers involved and being far enough away from other events. And I said, screw it. April 2nd is I'll change the name. I don't know. I'll figure something out.
Well, it just could be
spring. Not any month you want, just not Summer Brews Fest. That's all.
Right,
we
exactly.
We have all those glasses.
So I sent out the brewery invite again for April 2nd, so I'm pretty positive the date's not moving again. This is where we are now. I apologize if any of you bought flights out or anything like that. I don't know what to tell you. It was out of my hands. SF Beer Week moved, frankly, without telling anybody until sort of the last minute. So April 2nd is your new Winter Brews Fest this year. It'll go back to January next year, but now we're doing a nice spring. Gets me out of the way of El Nino, which has been stressing me out, to be honest. I've been waiting for it to dump rain on us on one of these winter fests.
We've been really lucky.
When was the two original days in January again? I forget.
The 30th and the 23rd.
All right, let's watch and see if on the 30th and the 23rd,
if it rains,
if it just fucking pisses on everybody.
I know, and part of me wants it to, so that I feel better about the decision to have to move all the way out to April. But that's just what it is. So mark your calendars, erase your calendars on the other dates, and then mark the new one. It'll be Saturday, April 2nd. Buys us a little bit of time and gets us out of the way of all that stuff. So hopefully it'll work out, and you all want to come out and party with us anyway. I'm going to be in Portland next week, hitting the road, as a matter of fact.
Weird.
Yeah, that's why I'm off.
Come back?
Yeah, may or may not come back. Yeah. So I'll put stuff on Facebook or whatever, but if any of you guys are hanging out, you got any good recommendations of where I should be going in the Portland area, I'll be traveling with a gaggle of French brewers. A bunch of Frenchmen are coming out. And they want to see brew pubs and breweries, and so we're going to jump in the bunker, and I'm gonna show them around.
Definitely go to Flat Tail.
I am thinking of Flat Tail. We'll go party there. I want to go to Bend, and because we can hit a bunch of breweries in Bend. Yeah. And then, we're spending most of our time in Portland. Then we'll make our way down, and we're going to hit
Hamlet.
I want to go to Hamlet.
It's in the Pearl District in Portland. Prosciutto bar.
Hey, I got to take the French people for charcuterie. That's a great idea. Yeah. I'm going to do it.
Do it.
So, so shoot me an email, justin@thebrewingnetwork.com, and we'll be hanging out. You'll probably find me at Sassy's every night. I'll be there Tuesday through Thursday night. So pretty much any time around 10 or later, you'll probably, if you're, you don't need to follow me on Facebook.
Right.
Just go to Sassy's.
Right.
And bring dollar bills.
Yeah. Spreading good beer to Paris. There's like a photo of me hanging in a Paris craft beer bar, like a giant Jesus-looking photo.
Yeah.
Because I'm part of the craft beer movement in Paris.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
isn't that creepy?
You're like an icon on the wall there.
It's a weird thing. I got a photo of it, and I was like, "Oh, they have a Jesus on their wall," and the friend was like, "No, that's you, actually." So, anyhow, these are some publicans from Paris and some brewers from France and all around, and they're coming to see the beer scene. So, if you're around, any of you brewers out in the Portland area and want to show us your brewery, they're just sponges for craft beer information right now. So,
stealing all of our free information.
They are, yes.
Typical
free stuff.
Frenchmen.
Yeah. All right. Get your Moscow Hop Life gear at hoplifestore.com right now. Moscow's original artwork put on shirts. And can they buy prints there, too, on Hop Life gear? They can. And prints of really good stuff. So go check it out. You can also get BN Army gear in the store. Hit the store button on our homepage. And if you want to support the show, which I recommend you do, I got traveling to do, hit the Amazon link on our homepage. Do your Christmas shopping, your Thanksgiving shopping. I don't care what kind of shopping you do. Just click the Amazon link on the right side. If you have an ad blocker, I'm told, the Amazon link isn't showing up. I get angry emails about that sometimes, like, well, I have an ad blocker. It doesn't show up. And I'm like, well, how is that my fault?
Well, also, how do you not figure that out? I have an ad blocker, so your ad's not showing up.
Yeah. And I tried to code it so that it's like, and by I mean I had somebody else do it, so that it doesn't, that the web doesn't think it's an ad.
Yeah.
Apparently that works in some browsers and it doesn't work in others. So if you're not seeing the Amazon link, turn off your ad blocker for a minute, click on it, and then you can just save it like as a bookmark in your browser, and then you can use it all the time. But if you're not seeing it, that's why. And then you can do your Amazon shopping like normal. It doesn't cost you any more money. It's transparent, and we get a little piece of the action. It really helps a lot. A lot of you do it, and especially around Christmas time, it really helps us out around here. So if you could do that. Do we have an Amazon product of the week?
Well, I was looking through the list of all the different products purchased, but I figured, you know what? Let's just go back to the glory days when we didn't have an Amazon affiliates account. Screw it.
Oh, and we didn't have a product?
Yeah, there's no product. There was no Amazon accounts, and those were the great days, right?
Yes, those were the glory days.
Yeah.
It's true. All right, fine.
I am like
the only person who's angrier than me. What else? Oh, subscribe and join the BN Army. Just click the, what does it say? BN Army, I think.
I think so. Little dog tag?
I don't know. What does our website look like? Let me have a look at our website.
It doesn't work.
It says, it's right there. It says donate. You click the donate button. It's right there just above the newsletter link and the Amazon link and the join the AHA link and the subscribe to BYO link. There are all the ways that you can support the BN. And if you hit the donate button, you can sign up for as little as $2 a month, and it enters you for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to More Beer.
I don't see any of those links, but I do have my ad blocker on.
You have it on.
Is that a problem?
Okay. That's a problem.
Shit.
All right. Do that. Sign up. Become a donor, and it's a great thing to do. Get all these updates and more over on Twitter.
Facebook.
and that one. And then send your show ideas to Scott the Jew, Scott@thebrewingnetwork.com. Send feedback to feedback@thebrewingnetwork.com.
I found all the ads.
You turned off your ad blocker, and they're right there.
They're right there on the right-hand side, brah.
Yeah, I can't cure the ad blockers. You got to do that yourself. But
I took my engine out of my car, and now my car won't start. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Oh, I get emails about that, too. All sorts of things. Okay, Twitter game.
Yes.
A Twitter game is brought to you today by the Labruski Cruise, which is the cruise that will be going on in the first week of March. Amazing. That I'm looking forward to. See, I like being on the road or on the water or whatever.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
You can join us by clicking the Labruski Cruise link right on our homepage. It's above all those other links I was just talking about on the right side. Again, you turn off your ad blocker. And then click that, and you can get, I think right now it's 20 free drink tickets along with your cabin. It's pretty cheap, too. Cabins are for 2 people, and it's a 5-day cruise, and we're all going to be there partying with you. So,
do we get 20 free drink tickets?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure we're going to get some free drinks somehow.
I need to get my passport.
Yes,
I need to do that.
Get your passport. Everybody needs to get their passport who's going on this thing. I highly recommend. You've never left the country?
Well, no. When I was 16, I went to Mexico.
But you could use your driver's license back then.
No, I had a passport.
Oh, but now it's just expired.
Yeah,
I see. Okay,
I'm not as handsome as I used to be.
You could have used your driver's license back then, though. So
I was 16. I didn't have a driver's license.
Oh, who doesn't get their driver's license? Oh, that's right. Kids nowadays.
I was 19 when I got my driver's license.
Oh, my dad.
Although you're my age, but
my dad was an asshole. I had 17.
Well, that's not bad. Yeah, it drives me nuts about kids today. The day I turned 16, I had an appointment at the DMV to get my license because I couldn't wait to get out of the house. Who wants to sit around the house?
Well, your parents were like hippies.
Yeah.
They didn't really give a shit.
They were like asshole hippies, though.
Right.
But yeah, and they didn't care. Asshole. Yeah, but everybody around me did the same thing. But now I talk to people, and their kids are 18, 19 years old. Yeah. They don't have their license. All I can think is, what are they doing? They want to hang out with you at home?
They're not mature enough.
Guess so. Get your license. Get out.
Yeah,
get out.
Leave.
Get a job.
Go on the road for a year.
Yes, get in your car and just go. Grow up.
They've been looking at Facebook for 5 years. They can't get away from it.
All right, join us on the Labruski Cruise. What's our Twitter game?
Well, I was thinking about, I was reminiscing, doing a little reminiscing myself.
Yeah.
And, we've done a lot for the brewing community, I think, and I feel like the Brewcaster should all be remembered in some various way, shape, or form. So then I thought we should have a Brewing Network Hall of Fame.
Oh.
So I got to thinking, who should be inducted into the Brewing Network Hall of Fame? Which brewcaster should be inducted in the and why?
And why? So only brewcasters. We're not talking guests here. Nope. We're just talking brewcasters.
Brewcasters. Which brewcaster should be in the BN Hall of Fame and why?
And the Hall of Fame building is in Pacheco, right? It's like the Pacheco Community Center.
I think
if we had a Hall of Fame, it has to be, right?
Well, I think what we would do, we would buy the rat pad back.
Oh, yeah.
And set it up as a museum.
I would love... Okay, if we were ever loaded one day, I would totally buy the rat pad back.
Yeah, for sure.
For no particular reason.
Well, it would, it would have all our crap. It would have biscuits, ashes in it.
There goes the yard again.
Yeah. Sam would light bottle rockets off on the back patio.
All right, which brewcaster would make it into the Brewing Network Hall of Fame? Brought to you by the Labruski Cruise. And why?
Why is important.
Yes. All right, let's do a little bit of feedback. You want me to do that phone call? What's with the phone call, Beav? I read your writing, but tell me in person.
I read your writing.
Oh, God. So it's Peter, and he got his first ever medal, which was a gold, from one of Jamil's recipes from Mild, and he wants to say thank you.
All right.
While you're bitching about wanting to quit, somebody wants to thank you for your work.
Hi, Peter.
Feedback at thebrewingnetwork.com.
What's happening, dude?
Hey, I'm good. I'm Barley Boy in the forum. So I just won my first medal thanks to you guys.
Dude.
It's a gold in English brown ale. I made a mild meals recipe from Brewing Classic Styles. And the same beer also won third place in Best of Show.
Congratulations, man. Wow, best third place in Best of Show, too. That's nice. What competition was it?
Son of Brazilla in Cleveland.
In Cleveland, all right. Well, congrats, man. How long have you been brewing?
I started brewing about 4 years ago, had a bunch of problems and quit, and found Brewing TV, and then through them, you guys, and figured out what was going wrong, and I've been going strong since a year and a half ago since.
All right. And you enter a lot of competitions?
Not as many as I'd like to, but I think I'm going to enter quite a few more.
It's fun, huh?
Now you got a little taste of success.
Yeah.
Take it from me. Stop trying. Quit while you're ahead. It's only downhill from here, dude.
That's right. Didn't you got what, James? You got one medal and then never again?
Yeah.
Was that the deal?
Pretty much, yeah.
JP's like, God on top.
Yeah. Third place or nothing.
Or bust.
Just don't even, it's not worth it.
Yeah. What was the score on your beer, Peter?
37.
Nice.
It's pretty good. That's actually very good.
Yeah.
I think, right?
A nice taste.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Yeah, I've never scored that high on anything before. But
anything neither in life or in brewing.
Yeah, life or brewing. Yeah, no, I'm a failure except for this one beer.
I relate to that.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man! I'm proud of you, and thanks for calling and letting us know, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
have
brother.
a nice night.
Take care.
He got a 12 on his SATs.
It was better than a D- in math.
Oh, I got a lot of D- in math. Did I ever tell you the only reason I graduated was because my math teacher just let me go enter my own scores into the grade book? Yeah, I had to pass geometry to get out of school, and my teacher, I think he's dead now, so I think I can say his name. Maybe I ought to play it safe and not say his name. Yeah, it doesn't. Mr. Yee. Mr. Yee was great. He was hungover every day, you could tell. And anyhow, it was the second time I had taken geometry because I failed it when I was a junior. And I needed to pass this math class to graduate. And it wasn't going to happen. And I was doing great at everything else. I just couldn't do this math thing. And so...
this thing.
So after a while, like, my homework would get really backed up. And so I'd come in with this pile of homework, and he would just sort of wink at me and go, why don't you just go enter your homework into the grade book?
He would wink at you.
He handed you the red pen and he's like, I'm looking the other way, dude.
Yeah, so I would go in and I would just change all my test scores to so that I wasn't, a C-. I wasn't going to.
Well, no, you don't want to be too weird about it. You don't call attention. So what did you have to do in return?
Nothing. The guy, it was an unspoken, I always thought
Photos or?
Yeah. No, there were no blowies. There were no photos.
Just stand in the corner in your Y fronts.
I didn't even bring him like a 6-pack of Natty Light, like nothing.
Really?
It was this unspoken thing where he was like, look, I don't think you're a bad kid. I'm not going to be the one who holds you back.
Yeah.
The grade book's over there. I can't do it. All this happened unspoken, by the way. I could tell. He's like, I can't change your scores. That's highly illegal. But if I have you go enter your homework into the book and you change the scores, how do I know what's happening?
This was unspoken.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you broke into this dude's room and changed your scores. And then you walked in the last day of class, gave him a wink and a nudge, turned around and walked out. And he goes, what the fuck was that about?
No, he was always sitting right there. It was a full class of people, and I just was over there, entering my homework into the grade book. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't have graduated without that level of success.
Wow. Without that level of success.
Yeah.
Which is not a level of success at all.
No.
Yeah, great. You did good.
I thought so, too. Hey, I went on to graduate college cum laude or whatever it is. So thank you, Mr. Yee, for believing in me and knowing that I would never, ever need math again after your class.
Right.
It would have been great if you just entered F's. And then he's like, damn, kid.
He's like, I'm trying to help you here. Yeah.
Just winking at you for a year.
Yeah.
Finally, you got it.
All right, let's do some feedback. Feedback's brought to you today by our good friend John over at Beer Law Center. Go to beerlawcenter.com if you need help starting up your brewery or if you need help with your trademarks like I do, then John can help you. And he protects our hop grenade. Kid's working hard lately.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Driving me nuts. But John does a great job over at beerlawcenter.com. All right, Brad writes in, congratulations on Hop Grenade IPA. But what's with the mopiness when talking about the Grenade IPA, Justin? It seems like a huge accomplishment. Was it too much work? Congratulations, and try not to shoot yourself. From Brad. It wasn't any work. I didn't have to do anything on that one.
But that may have been too much.
It was the perfect job. I walked into Heretic Brewing Company. I took a sip of Heretic IPA, and I said, change the name, boys. That's my new beer.
But you didn't have to walk.
I did have to walk.
Did you take a break in between?
And I had to wheel out Kevin wheeled out the keg.
You had to hang out with Kevin.
I don't remember sounding mopey. I think I was mopey because I want a big production Brewing Network IPA.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to happen anytime soon. So this was like a little one-off to take care of some other things, some other irons in the fire.
But you were, it was a concession IPA.
Right. Yeah. So what you heard was that the kind of real and official Hop Grenade IPA that I hope takes the world by storm one day isn't here yet.
Right.
Although that IPA is damn good. I mean, flavor-wise, I have nothing against this beer. I just mean it's only half ours, kind of.
Sure.
It's a Heretic beer with Hop Grenade IPA on it. You know, I've licensed Hop Grenade IPA to them. So that's probably what you heard, Brad. Had I opened up a brewery and was really pumping out Hop Grenade IPA, you might have heard a different level of mopiness. All right, Kyle writes in. This is about Doc.
Hi, Kyle.
He says, hi, all. I recently listened to the September-October sessions in binge mode and realized what had been missing from the show lately. Doc! It's because he rambles, he slurs, and has comments from way out in left field, but he lets the show toe the line of hilarious and painful. And just to be clear, it's perfect. When he was missing from the 10:19 show, everyone was more subdued. I'm listening to the 11:2 show now and happy to hear that Doc was in the studio. I realize that your schedule probably limits your appearances, Doc, but please make the show when you can. Thanks from Kyle. All right, I'll pass the message. He's not here. So, there's no Doc today. All right, Russ writes in. Russ with one S. Is that Roos?
I think he's French.
It's Roos.
Yeah, Roos.
He says, it's titled, I don't know how you do it. First off, I love you guys. I'm listening to the show from October 12th and literally crying laughing. I'll admit I'm a little drunk, but I was you guys to listen to yourselves. He wants us to listen to ourselves.
Maybe.
The Adam and Eve commercial, maybe 35 minutes before the end of the show. And then the quote he has from it is the Hateful Eight. He said, it's the funniest shit I've ever heard. I've heard in a long time. Russ from Tennessee. I don't remember any of it.
I think I want to say it was me, but who knows?
Was it one of the movies or something?
No, well, yeah, like we're talking about the DVDs, and someone said their favorite was the Hateful Eight.
Okay.
All right. Porn.
I'm glad we make you laugh. I like that part of my job. Who's this? I don't know who this is, but it's titled The BN Army Secret Santa. Put out a plate of tasty cookies and a tall glass of milk stout. The 9th annual BN Army Secret Santa is officially on. I'd appreciate it if I could get mentioned on the show. Well, here you go, buddy. Unfortunately, I'm always working when the show is live, so I can't call in. So here's the Cliff's Notes. He says, Secret Santa Homebrew Exchange open to all BN Army members in good standing. The cutoff date is November 30th. Info on how to enter is in the forum under General Beer Related. So if you go to our website and you hover over the community link, you'll find our forum there, and you can go in and then check out General Beer Related. You'll find a topic there. Three Hoes and an Elf is the name of the person who sent all that information. There you go. All right, Tim writes in. This is titled Skydiving is Stupid. Now, this is a good story. I read this earlier today.
It's a good one, right?
Says he's listening to Justin's skydiving story this week, and it made this story pop in his memory. When was I telling a skydiving story?
I think it was last week. Yeah, last show.
It was about you and your fascination with watching plane crashes and how you like thinking about dying because you're a strange little man.
Now I remember. Yeah, okay. So here's his story. He says, about 14 years ago, I was working for Bank of America, and they would send a weekly employee spotlight email out to the department. One week, the focus was an executive in Charlotte that was recovering from a skydiving accident. Apparently, she pulled the cord, and nothing happened. She landed on a fire ant nest. He says this happened in South Carolina, which is basically one giant fire ant nest, and was then swarmed by fire ants while she laid there unconscious. She survived because the ground was so much softer where the ants had dug it up to build their nest, and the venom from hundreds of bites made her body dump in adrenaline to counteract it. A hell of a way to survive, he says, from Tim.
But you're Playing there unconscious, you get eaten.
You get mauled by fire ants.
Fell out of a plane.
And they saved you. They saved your life.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
It's a tough way to go, too. I mean, she didn't go. But imagine, like, right up until the moment of impact, that you're going to die by hitting the ground at an enormous rate of speed. It's a crazy thing to think about. And, well, luckily she landed on a pile of fire ants, I guess. Never thought you'd hear that in the same sentence. All right, Philly Chill writes in, hey, I'm not a fan of the new logo. All right. And Jesse from Connecticut writes in, Dear BN crew, I've thought about donating to the BN lately. Great.
Good.
Just think about it. I wonder if I should donate to the BN.
What would that look like? What would that look like if I did that?
What would that look like? No, he says, I've thought about donating to the BN lately, but never pulled the trigger on it. As I was driving 2+ hours to Boston this past weekend, I enjoyed a few other BN shows and started listening to the Central Coast Brewing Session episode for the second time, listening to Justin ask brewers for their support. I thought about the financials of the shows you guys put on and was thinking that there can't be that much there, and I honestly don't know how you do it. We've pretty much been saying that.
Right.
Since day 4.
Yes.
What does he say? It got me thinking too about the BN content that I currently consume on a weekly basis as compared to other stuff that I actually subscribe to. So this morning, I did subscribe to the BN Army as a corporal.
Yes.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Jesse says, I would encourage others to think about other crap that they subscribe to and think about adding the BN. Just because you can get it for free doesn't mean it's not worth paying for. Keep up the good work, guys. Jesse from Connecticut, my home state. Those Connecticut people are good people.
Well, so far, just that one. We don't know about any other one.
Yeah. Anyway, if you could sign up and support us, it would be a great thing. It would change lives around here.
Well, maybe.
I estimate that about 2% of our listeners donate. Just to give you an idea of how many we download, we transfer hundreds of gigabytes, hundreds of them every month in show content to unique IP addresses. So we calculated there's somewhere around 70,000 listeners out there downloading, and maybe 1%. Don't do the math, though.
No.
Like, don't trust my math.
Right.
But it's somewhere around 1%.
As far as you know, they're all doing it, and someone's skimming up the top.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't get it.
Where is everybody? It's such a weird thing.
PayPal's fucking me.
So anyhow, think about it if you got an extra couple bucks. All right, let's see. Nate in Copenhagen. This whole email is a...
it's amazing.
It's a McKellar bash.
Yeah. Which why I think it's amazing.
Bite my tongue.
I don't have anything against McKellar, so I don't know why it's being sent to me. But
well, it's
does it taste oxidized in Copenhagen too, or is that the problem?
Is this a home brewer with a brand? What's the problem?
All right. It's titled "Is Our Children Learning Beer?" which is a great title. If you ask me.
Clearly, English is not his second language.
All right. Hi from Copenhagen.
Hi.
I just want to say thank you for all the good information and JP's opinions.
Highly separate. Okay.
Yeah.
My opinion is I like this.
If it weren't for you guys, I would be a lot worse off because I live here. And here, people think McKellar is the bee's knees for craft beer. I was at his main tap room the other day and stared at the board trying to find something that sounded appetizing. I started with the Flat White, a coffee stout with lactose. And yes, it was, except brown. Then I tried a triple IPA, which he says was 3 Floyds co-produced, and wished I had some pancakes for that syrup. It left me wondering how many people actually end up drinking more than one of his beers, or the same variety anyway, at a time. And then today I saw this quote. I think he's saying this quote was from him. All of this is not my information, just in an email. I guess the quote was, "I don't enjoy making beer." He says, "I like making recipes and hanging out." And Nate says that it shows. So thanks to you guys, I can now go home and drink an amazing double IPA with my friends because I is learning beer. Mission accomplished. Cheers, Nate in Copenhagen. P.S. Don't change horses midstream. I don't know what that is.
Vague, shifty Copenhagen.
Right,
do not walk in the middle of the road. You get hit.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know what to tell you.
All right, thanks.
I will say this.
Yes.
McKellar's gotten my dream job. I mean, the guy does just travel around and doesn't own a brewery. He hangs out and brews some beer with people.
He emails the recipe.
He's giving the middle finger back way going, look, I can get away with this.
He's got restaurants and bars all over the world. I kind of envy the dude.
Near as I can tell, it's like it's a parody of American craft beer, and he's just laughing all the way to the bank. It's
He's
awesome.
doing great and having a great time doing it.
He's a good marketer,
might be my idol. I might have to switch my idol from Tony McGee, who clearly works too hard, even though he's a stoner, over to McKellar, who is kind of living the dream.
Yeah.
And he partners every place he opens. And you know why he partners? He hasn't said this. I just, as a fellow lazy person, I know why. Because then he doesn't do anything. He just puts his name on it.
Yeah. Right.
I love it. Brilliant. Make all the bad beer you want, dude.
He is, don't worry.
All right. Matt writes in. Late night listening in the UK. Hey, Brewcasters. I've been listening to the session for a few months now, and I don't know whether it's getting even better or whether I think that because I've been systematically going through the lunch meat archives whilst I brew at night. I guess he gets home from his regular job at 8 and then brews until 2 a.m. and then 3 hours of sleep and then back in the morning to go to work. Ugh. He says, I heard somebody bitching a while ago about how your guests were talking too much about business and not enough about beer. I say, screw that. More talk about business and the trials and tribulations of setting up a brewery. Because surely that's what every home brewer dreams of, right? And without the knowledge of people that have done before, we're all doomed. I've just sunk 20,000 pounds into a secondhand 5-barrel brew house with 5 fermenters and all the gubbins that goes along with it. Must be a British word. Yeah. And have sat in the warehouse at my day job whilst we raise enough working capital to get a premises and get the business started. We reckon another 20,000 pounds should do it. I just want to say thanks for all of the shows on the BN. They really helped me through the week. And once I work out where the funds of my next set of bills is coming from, I'll be sure to chuck you a few pennies to say thanks in a way that actually helps. Laters from Matt, Nameless Brewing Limited. So
there you go.
Yeah, hey, good luck, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could help. I do think that when I finally retire, to answer your question, JP, about what would I be proud of on my deathbed, right. We here as a team on this show and the other shows and all of the time we spent have produced, and I'm being very serious here, a serious wealth of information that anybody could use to open a brewery, to become a better brewer, to make great craft beer. That I am very proud of. And I do think that one day when I'm done, I'll go, well, here you go. I don't want to hear about it. Because here's your 10 years. That's probably going to be a few more years. So here's your 14 and a half years of brewing knowledge. You're welcome. I'm out.
Yeah.
Drops the mic.
Put everything behind the paywall.
And leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The $200 a month paywall.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we take ourselves a quick break because we've got work to do tonight. We're going to talk to our friend Derek Smith here from Moylan's Brewing Company. He's the brewmaster, and we're going to hang out and drink. You know what we have on tap? Now Derek, I went over to my general manager because I was looking at the menu. I wanted to get a Moylan's beer before the program started, right? Double kilt lifter. It's like 11%. Right? It's your anniversary beer, right? That's the way to start. Yeah, so I said to Kevin, I was like, Kevin, what are you trying to do to me, man? I got to drink double kilt lifter on this show all night? I'm going to get hammered with Derek.
That's how we do it at Moylan.
It is how believe me, I know. That is how you do it.
Right. That is no secret.
All right, why don't we take a quick break? When we come back, I'll try some double kilt lifter, and we'll talk to Derek from Moylan's. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. On the Brewing Network.
Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Ken Grossman of Sierra Nevada Brewing Company says making great beer is hard. Making the same great beer every day is harder. Brewers Publications announces its latest release for breweries of any type and size. Quality Management, an essential guide for brewers by Mary Pelletieri. Proper quality management for small, regional, and national breweries is critical. Whether you are an established business or brand new, learn the best ways to create and manage a quality system in your brewery. This book will guide you in developing a comprehensive program that will grow with your brewery, help ensure quality processes in the brewery, and continue providing great beer for your fans. Quality management for breweries is critical for continued success. This guidebook teaches you to integrate quality management in every level of the operation. It will guide you in developing a comprehensive program to ensure quality processes in your brewery. Quality Management, an essential guide for brewers, now available from Brewers Publications. Learn more at brewerspublications.com.
The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com.
Hey, Wooly, I'm beat. Can we find a nice tree to just hang out in for a while?
You're beat. I've been swinging through this forest for 50 years, ever since we first escaped from the circus. I know, but there's got to be more to life than exploring this creek and trying to populate the valley by copulating with loose, hairy girls.
Marquis, stop.
Look!
What is that?
It looks like a man-made treehouse.
With fresh food.
And craft beer.
Welcome to the Creek Monkey Tap House, boys. Grab a seat. Creek Monkeys drink free.
Awesome!
The Creek Monkey Tap House in Martinez, California takes their mission of fresh food and beer seriously. They only serve locally raised beef and chicken, as well as local sustainable produce. It's better for you and the planet, and it just tastes better. The beer and wine at Creek Monkey Tap House are chosen with the same care for the highest quality and rotate frequently to make each visit an adventure. Swing on into the Creek Monkey Tap House and enjoy a new legend of amazing food, beer, and wine. The Creek Monkey Tap House, online at creekmonkey.com.
Brewcasters are back.
888-401-BEER. Whatever.
welcome back to the program, and thanks for hanging out with us. We got a lot to do today. Before we move on, I want to remind you about Double Blaze Brewing, raising a little bit of cash so that they can open a brewery in Temecula, California, looking to open up in mid-2016. It's been started by Jacob Mitchell. It was a homebrew project that he started in 2012, and now he's going for a 2.5-barrel, 4-vessel system and 10-barrel fermenters, trying to raise just a measly $80,000. You can go over to Kickstarter.com right now and search Double Blaze Brewing. He's also running a raffle. So for all pledges of $50 or more, he's going to be doing a raffle for either you can brew a beer that you design with them, with Double Blaze Brewing when they open. Yeah, you get to design the beer and then go brew it with them. Or a lifetime membership to their Trailblazers Rare Beer Club. So 2 great ways, or incentives rather, to support a wonderful project in Double Blaze Brewing if you donate, if you pledge $50 or more. So go over to Kickstarter.com right now, search Double Blaze, and help a fellow homebrewer realize their dream down there in Temecula, California, especially if you're a SoCal beer fan, because you're just going to get another great brewery out of it. So go check it out. All right. Derek Smith.
What up?
It's a funny thing, me and Derek. I've known Derek for years around the beer scene. We were just joking before we came back here that getting Derek on the show, it's like 8 years in the making.
Something like that, yeah. It's been a long time.
So Derek was and we're going to learn all about his brewing history, a lot of different breweries. But he was at Black Diamond Brewery, which is right around the corner here. And we would see each other at beer festivals everywhere. Hey, let's do a show. Why don't you come on? And it never worked out. And I joked with Derek, I think I should make it a thing now that I never let the brewer at Black Diamond on the program until they leave and go to another brewery. It's now a tradition.
Because it was like the closest brewery to the old Martinez studios.
Oh, yeah. It really was.
You would always ask and be like, oh, yeah, I've got time. And then I never would. And then I was like, oh, I don't have time to do it.
Yeah. So we've never worked it out. 8 years later, you're at one of the farthest breweries from the Bay Area from the studio, and here you are.
Now I've got plenty of time, right?
That's right. Now, you don't live down in Concord still, I hope.
Oh, no, I've always lived in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Because Oakland's where it's at.
So Oakland to Novato, is that where Moylan's is?
Yeah, so it's basically the same distance in the car from my house to Novato as it is to Concord.
Concord. So that's not a bad commute at all.
Except for when the bridge sucks, which is more and more these days. So
yeah. How did it happen that you became the brewer for Moylan's?
It was about the time that I was leaving Black Diamond that Denise Jones over at Moylan's was looking to do a startup with some people over Napa. Yeah. And she just texted me one day while I was thinking about leaving. And so she said, hey, I'm thinking about leaving. You know, you want to talk to Brendan? And then so I just kind of went and started talking to Brendan. And then all of a sudden it was like, it all happened really, really quickly.
Okay. I could see that with Brendan. He seems like a handshake kind of a guy. He comes in, if he likes you, if you got good brewing chops, all right, have the job. Don't fuck it up, kid.
It was pretty much exactly like that. Okay. It was like we sat down, we had like lunch, and then all of a sudden he was like, so do you want the job or what?
Wow. Yeah.
And so it was very quickly kind of like consummated over like, you know, a Reuben sandwich and a pint of stout or something like that very quickly.
How is he to work for? He seems also... I know that he is a smart guy and he runs 2 businesses, but he seems kind of hands-off with his brewers.
He's honestly got like 4 things going at the same time. So he's got like the 2 pubs and then he's got the distillery as well.
Oh, right, of course.
So... You know, and everyone's always asking him for something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he kind of like doesn't stand over you on the day-to-day operations. It's more kind of, hey, we should do this, or hey, we should do this. And so it's not like I have to like, hey, I'm going to order these hops this week. Is that okay kind of thing?
Right. And you can design your own beers and things too?
Yeah, so for the most part, it's very much like I say, hey, I'd like to make this sour brown ale.
Yeah.
What do you think? He yeah, no, I don't think so. And I'm like, but it'd be cool.
Yeah, okay.
And then he goes, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, and I've already brewed it last week.
Yeah, and by the way, it's coming down the pipeline anyway.
So, yeah, it's and so he kind of gets that. And it's very much, we've tried to do a little bit, I've tried to do a little bit more different things than what they've done in the past, and tried to really work on things that are, Denise has her perspective and then I have my perspective. And that was one of the things that we talked about when I started, is the fact that he's not expecting me to be Denise and he wants me to be me.
Yeah.
And he's just said, do what you like to do, but these are the beers that we like, that we have to have all the time.
Sure, you have your core beers, and that's understandable.
And so, yeah, I've kind of I looked at those core beers, and I've done like little tweaks of each one, but I haven't really rewritten the playbook as far as like double IPA or Moylan or double IPA or Hopsicle.
Okay.
It's like I've done like little tweaks here and there, but it's, I still know that we have a big fan base, and that I'm not trying to redo the whole portfolio of beers for Moylan's.
What kind of tweaks does a brewer make when you come in and you have this core? Like Moylan's been around for 20 years,
20
right?
years, yeah.
So you have this core brand. What do you think about as a brewer? You come and you taste a beer that you know is a successful beer, but you want to do like a little something to it. What do you think about?
So for me, it was really about like looking at, we have 4 or 5 hoppy beers in our portfolio all the time. And so for me, it's very much about differentiating each of the hoppy beers.
Okay.
So it's, and then, trying to stay on trend with all the new hops and things like that. And knowing that, like, the trends that, the hops that were big in 1995 aren't as big as they are now, So there's been this whole change as far as, like, Super Pine, Simcoe, Citra, Mosaic, Equinox kind of trend. And then saying that, hey, maybe we should feed some of these hops into this beer and some of these hops into that one, and so that maybe we kind of change the profile a little bit,
it's a good
but
idea.
Without like totally changing the whole structure of the beer. The malt bill is pretty simple. It's 2-row and Cara 8 and maybe a little Munich, but keep it simple. Let the hop shine through. Big late additions, big huge dry hop, but other than that, it's really about letting those big hoppy beers shine through. For things like the Kilt Lifter, that's our flagship beer.
Yeah.
Just maybe one minor tweak. Maybe instead of using Munich, we use some melanoidin, which gives it a little bit darker hue to it.
Okay.
So I think I enhanced the maltiness a little bit more. But those tweaks, it's something that's kind of happened over the course of 2 years. So
okay. You got to get to know the beers first, right?
Yeah, that was the whole first thing. Was like I walked in, and the first 2 weeks, it was like, bartenders were like, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Can you give me a sampler set, please?"
Yeah, yeah.
And just kind of like they're like, "Well, why do you always order a different beer?" I'm like, "Because I don't know what these beers taste like."
Right, you got to get to know it.
Or so that was the big thing, was like getting to know what the flavor profile is, and actually talking to the bar customers, because the last thing I want to do is piss off people who've been there, going there for 20 years, and saying, "Oh, you changed my favorite beer."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, I might change it a little bit."
Trying to make it better.
But I'm trying to make it better, and I don't necessarily brew the same way Denise brews, which necessarily isn't a good thing or a bad thing. I just think it's different.
Sure.
So we all have our, I want to say I have my perspective, and I wanted to put my perspective on some of those beers that we do make.
Sure. Well, and one thing I know about Brendan, too, is that even though, he has been around, and Moylan's has been around for 20 years, he doesn't want to just rest on his laurels. He wants to be relevant and make great beer and really, do what he got into this thing for anyway.
And that was a big part of our conversation. Like, he and I had a big conversation at GABF, and we were kind of walking around the hall, and, he was like, "What is the one big thing you took away from GABF?" And I was like, the biggest thing I took away was, other than peanut butter beers, was staying relevant. I mean, there's so many new breweries out there this year, or these days, that it's really about, just because we've been around for 20 years doesn't mean that we have to rest on our laurels. We have to stay relevant, and we have to kind of fight our way through all of these thousands of other breweries that are out there to get tap handle space. And
well, you won another medal this year. I think you guys are doing a good job of staying at the top of the pack. You're also putting beer in cans. You can get Kilt Lifter in cans,
Kilt
right?
Lifter in cans. We actually make them over at Heretic.
Nice, yeah.
Chris does a great job with that. I think they were actually canning it today.
Beautiful.
So that's the whole thing is, we just do the one package at Heretic, Kilt Lifter.
Mm-hmm.
They do make some Mount Tam for Marin Brewing Company as well.
Love that beer.
I love it too.
It's great. That's a good pale ale.
I've actually made some Mount Tam at our pub.
Okay.
To kind of bridge the gap between.
How much of the Moylan's beer stays right in the pub? Percentage-wise, what would you think?
Probably like 30%. We do a fair amount of distribution, and I think that's kind of how we've built a little bit of Moylan's, is the fact that we sell some at the pub, and it's a fairly large pub.
It is, yeah.
But all of our tanks are really large scale, so we have a bunch of 40-barrel fermenters and a 20-barrel system, so that we can feed the pub some beers, and then we send a fair amount out for distribution, the same way that Marin doesn't really have the capabilities to ship as much beer because they sell so much over the bar.
Sure.
And all of their system is a lot smaller.
What is theirs? A 7-barrel?
It's a 15.
Oh, it is the 15.
Yeah.
God, it looks so small up in the front there. They put it in a small space.
I guess it's like 13. Oh, you should see our system.
I did see it. Actually, yours kind of blew me away the other day when I was up there.
It is pigeon-holed in there.
It is, and all the fermenters up on the second floor.
Yep. Everything has to go upstairs and then come back downstairs. And just imagine, like, if you fill like 1 or 2 kegs for the bar, carrying them down those stairs.
Oh, man. I was thinking about that and all sorts of carrying stuff around. Can I invite my listeners to go check out the brewery? You guys do tours, right?
Oh, yeah.
People should go see it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We have people there 7 days a week, so it's pretty easy to stop by and get a tour.
Yeah. So when I went in there, and here's what I just recommend people do when you go on that tour, go check it out, and keep in mind that it was built 20 years ago. Yeah. Because to me, it actually looks, it's a modern brew house. You guys, but the way you put it in, it's crazy.
Same equipment from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've just managed to figure out how to turn 8 fermenters into putting out almost 5,000 barrels of beer.
Yeah,
which is like amazing because it's nonstop.
And by the way, I asked these questions because I was getting a tour, and I was fascinated by the space. The fermenters are on the second floor, and they had to be brought in through a second floor window.
So you have to it's almost like barn doors that you have to open these windows out to.
Yeah.
And then you kind of like crane it on its side, and then there's like this thing that kind of stands them up, and then you slide them on in.
I think Brendan told me there's like an inch of room all the way around when you put the fermenters through that barn door window. And but you do pump out a lot of beer from there.
It's amazing how much we pump out of there.
Yeah, yeah. And you don't have to carry bags of grain up and down those stairs, do you? You do?
Yeah, we do, because the mill house is actually right above the brew house.
Hell no.
Which is why we have this awesome 2-silo system, which actually allows us to be, I know we're probably going to talk about that in a while, but we do have 2 silos that allows us a lot of flexibility of having 2 different types of base malt.
Okay.
But yeah, everything, any kind of Munich or caramel malt or whatever specialty malts I want to use, or if we're going to do a Pilsner or something like that,
yeah,
it's 40 bags right up and down the stairs.
No wonder your malt bills are simple.
Right?
That's why. Like, I'm not carrying more of that.
So why don't you put like an auger system in that'll auger that stuff up?
There's no room.
Because there's no room.
No space to put a...
Because the mill's upstairs, so you're still going to have to like truck it upstairs. And actually, we have like this hole in the mill room that you could actually pulley it up.
Oh.
But somebody fell through the hole about 5 to 10 years ago.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
And so they covered the hole.
So they covered the hole because
as a memorial.
Well, they duct taped the hole is what they did.
They actually put like a piece of plywood down and stuck pallets over it so you could put more grain on top of it.
There you go. Yeah.
So that nobody could actually move the hole. So
did the person survive? I feel bad laughing.
I believe so. I think they just like broke a couple legs and maybe separated a shoulder or something like that.
Happens.
But that was before my time.
Wow. So you can't use the pulley hole
that
anymore.
Might have been
so you put the sacks on your shoulder and go up the steps?
Yep.
Are they steep steps like typically you find in a brewery? Or are they
I think there's about 25 or 30 steps.
They're not bad. No, they're not. No, they're not
So
like
the
the
steps
brewer's
are-
deck
yeah,
steps. No,
Those are horrible.
Yeah, it's not the steps. It's actually, once you get up to the top of the steps, it's actually going through the 5 fermenters, going through the grain room.
Oh, that's right.
That are worse because those tanks are separated by about like 3 feet or
It's
2,
shoulder
2.5
width,
feet.
maybe.
So you're not going to carry that.
with sample ports and like racking arms sticking out.
Right.
So it's,
You almost got to
it's
put that bag on top of your head. To get
That's what I was thinking. You got a Chiquita banana that thing.
Kind of something like that. I've gotten a lot better at it than when I first started. But the idea is that we try to get young people into the brewery.
And guest
Otherwise,
brewers
they turn
like
old
Nate.
really quick.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure that, and we're going to hear about your recipe. Nate's suggesting all these specialty malts for this,
Hell
and you're
no.
like, nope.
Hell no.
Nate's going, God, he's not very creative.
You know,
He
Derek
doesn't
knew
want
how to guide me correctly. He's like, okay, how am I going to not bring
How
as
am I
many
not going to
bags
carry
through?
anything upstairs?
Yeah.
And there's so much going on in the brew house. I can tell every time you have to walk through something like that, you're thinking of 5 things you probably have to do at that very moment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they've had a dumbwaiter system for like 200 years.
That's where somebody fell through the
Yeah, exactly.
floor.
So somebody falls through the floor, and all of a sudden OSHA
No
gets
more
called,
dumbwaiter.
and no dumbwaiter.
But one time in 20 years? That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good ratio, yeah.
Yeah, but we have people have kegs fall on them or something like that, and then you got to pay for that. And so the idea is to simplify everything. So like, you know, sometimes we don't have the sharpest tools in the shed that show up at the asking for jobs. So
Yeah, you got to weed those out.
Yeah.
Bag of grain on your shoulder.
I'm pretty sure Brendan's
That's-
pretty good at
that's,
weeding them out.
that's
Hey,
the first
you're an
test.
idiot. Leave.
First test is carry a bag of grain up through and
See how
try
you
not
do.
try not to rip it.
Make them carry it open. Don't spill a grain.
Yeah.
So, how did you get into brewing? How long ago, and where did you
It's
start?
been a long time, right? So I've been brewing for about 13 years. I first started in the beer community right after college. I took a sabbatical from.
I love sabbaticals.
Right? They're so much fun. So
They
I
taste
decided,
great, too.
Right? So I went to the UK to just kind of pal around and work in a pub and kind of figure life out in general. And the job I ended up getting hired for was at the White Horse in Parsons Green, which ends up being like this pretty well-known pub in London. I didn't happen to know it at the time, but kind of fell into this thing. And really kind of got the beer bug that way.
Okay.
Started pulling pints and then asked to work in the cellar there. And Mark Dorber, who used to be the publican there, was really into like his beers and really kind of nurtured a lot of people when you took an interest in beer.
Okay.
Kind of really nurtured people into pointing them into the right directions, introducing them to the right people. And that's really how it started. I met a lot of people working in the cellar there. A lot of like actual local people would come over during for a Great British Beer Festival.
Okay.
Like Doug Ashcraft and Lee Shepard and all these kind of people would come over, and I give them tours, and then they were like, "Remember that when I gave you that tour in the cellar?" And I'm like, I gave a lot of people a lot of tours in the cellar.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans spend that, yeah.
You met Grant. What was his name?
Grant Johnston, yeah.
Who was the brewer at Black Diamond?
Yeah. At the time, he was working in a pub. He worked in a brew pub in somewhere in London, and would come there, and we kind of met and had pints one day, and so I kind of continued that relationship with him.
Okay.
All the way up until when I started working at Black Diamond.
Everyone used to say Grant was an asshole. I met him once, and he was nice enough to me. But the rumor about Grant was that he was an asshole.
Grant is opinionated. Is that the right?
Okay. Maybe that's all. People can't handle people with strong opinion.
I guess I could sit there and say Grant is an asshole.
But that's not what you meant. He was just opinionated.
He'll call you out on your stuff, that kind of thing.
Being an asshole is mean-spirited.
I guess if I want to be a dick, I could say Grant is an asshole. But,
okay.
He's very opinionated and has his philosophy, and so sometimes we butted heads on philosophy.
In the brew house, I assume.
I think, he's been around for forever. And
Yeah.
I think that he has his perception of how things work, and when you start scaling up things to like a massive size, some of the things that we would do, I was like, why are we doing this? Just because of scale of like purging a whole 60-barrel tank, filling it up with water, and then purging it so that there's no CO2 into a tank. I'm like, 60 barrels of water is a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
I'm like, can't we just like purge a tank and put a little CO2 port on the bottom and just purge it all out that way? And he was like, no, we're going to fill it up with water and purge it out.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, since you're the boss, I'll do that.
Right.
But,
you were the assistant brewer at the time, right?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, so you just say, okay,
I do what I'm told, right?
Yeah. Is he a brewer still now somewhere else?
The last I heard, he's up in Wisconsin doing some stuff, doing some consulting and things like that.
Okay. I'm just curious. I only bring it up because I met him years ago, and there was this rumor about him. I think I met him at a beer fest, and he was nice enough. I did invite him to the show, and I do remember he was like, what are we going to talk about? I said, I don't want to talk about Black Diamond beer, I guess. We're going to talk about beers. All right, I'll see what I could do. So I said, all right, well, don't do me any favors. If you want to come talk about the beer, we can do that.
But what's funny is the fact that, a lot of the beers that we made when I first started working there are very hop intensive at the end of the boil.
Yeah.
Kind of like this whole hop bursting thing, which I've kind of like really embraced a lot of recently. And you see a lot of people doing this whole hop bursting thing of everything in the whirlpool or things like that. So I have to sit there and say, take a lot away from that as far as like, now we're big into like these big, huge hop flavors of like all late hop bursting kind of things, especially in.
And you're saying you learned that under Grant?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I sit there and say that, everything was like, you could put a cursory glance as far as like the bittering hops. You could like grab a handful of pellets and that was about the bittering hops. And then everything was at the end.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's like a waste. And then,
but he was ahead of the curve.
But he was kind of ahead of the curve, and you got really great hop flavor out of it. And I know that Darren up at Pelican kind of does some of the same things with some of his beers. So it's, I think it's people know what they want and know that that's a great way to get a lot of hop flavor in a beer.
How long did you end up brewing at Black Diamond?
I was there for the better part of 7.5 years.
And how long of that were you the brewmaster?
I was probably the brewmaster there for 5.5, 6 years.
Okay, so most of your time there, you got bumped right up to brewmaster.
Yeah, straight out. Grant left, and then they offered me the position, and that was kind of a little nerve-wracking.
I bet.
I've kind of worked the whole way of, I think it was about 5 years kind of leading up to that point.
Yeah.
And really wanting to get into being like a head brewer, and I kind of had my whole 7-year plan to get into being like a head brewer or being in charge of something.
Sure.
And this was, finally it was there, and then I was like, oh my gosh, do I know enough to be...
Yeah.
The head brewer,
because everything that comes out of there now, it's on you.
It's on me, and I kind of struggled a little bit as far as like finding my voice or finding my path. Or
what kind of mistakes did you make once you became the head brewer? What'd you screw up?
Everything.
I read in my notes that you had like overflowing kettles.
Oh, I used to do that all the time, though. But
what's that?
So basically, it would be like I used to do this at my first job when I used to brew in Texas. I would come in and I'd fill the kettle at the end of the day, and then so what I would do is I'd be like filling the kettle, and it'd be half hot water, half cold water as I was filling it, and then I'd go walk away and I'd be doing other stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'd hear like this whoosh, as all of a sudden you'd sit there and see all this steam and all this hot water kind of overflow, and then you'd get the tropical rainforest kind of thing as all this hot water and cold water would just kind of spray everywhere. And especially it's cool like if you're in like a glassed in area. Oh, I just got a text message saying I still do that.
Yeah. Stop doing that.
So, when you have like this big glassed in like fishbowl brewing system and you overflow the kettle, everyone's like, what's going on back there? And all of a sudden all the steam kind of raises up, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got it. And then you're like running back there to like shut valves, and people are like, what's going on back there? I'm like,
nothing. Yeah. What's a little water between friends? It's fine. Well, I'll tell you this. I pay attention to breweries around here, and I've been paying attention to Black Diamond for a long time. About a couple months after you became the brewmaster, I ordered a Black Diamond IPA at a restaurant. I hadn't ordered Black Diamond in quite some time because I just wasn't a big fan. You changed that beer. You made a really wonderful beer.
It was something I really kind of had to do because when I first took over from them, or first took over from Grant, we were doing a very typical English style IPA.
Okay,
with a fair amount of Styrian Golding. It was a big late edition of Styrian Goldings and big Styrian Golding dry hop. And at the time, I couldn't get anything. Like there was just, we didn't have a hop contract at the time, and so I was really trying to figure out how to make beer, and then
without hops.
Yeah. And they were like, "Oh, we need to put IPA in a bottle," and I'm like, "I can't make IPA because I'm not going to pay $25 a pound."
Okay. This is during the hop shortage.
It was 2007, 2008.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Like that. I just walked into being the head brewer, and one of my first jobs as the head brewer is calling Brewer Supply Group or Hop Union, being like, "Hey, can I buy like 20 boxes of hops?" And they go,
"No,
fuck you.
We don't have any."
And they're like, "Do you have a contract?" And I'm like,
a what?
What's that?
You're like, I don't know. I got a raise when I started as brewmaster, if that's what you mean.
So that was the first thing, was like really trying to navigate that whole kind of spectrum of like, do we really want to go down this path of putting a beer and package on the West Coast as a English IPA, knowing that we're going to have to compete against the likes of Bear Republic and Russian River and Lagunitas and Speakeasy. And
so you changed by necessity.
I kind of really did have to change by necessity.
Well, it was a good move.
Because of basically the situation that I was presented, it was the fact that I really didn't have any hops to pick from.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's basically like, you get this.
Do you remember what you ended up getting offhand? I know it was a while ago.
It was a blend of like some Styrians and East Kents, and there were some Simcoes and some Cascades.
Okay.
And so that was
something to work with.
That was a little bit of what I had to work with, and I kind of really filtered in the Simcoes because I felt like that's kind of like what everyone was kind of leaning towards anyway. Was getting more Simcoe, more Simcoe, more Simcoe. These are the days of before Citra and before.
Sure.
Couldn't get Amarillo now and then anyway. So.
Well, you had gotten a Black Diamond customer back in me because I hadn't ordered beer in a long time. But you have a lot of local accounts, so I go out for pizza and stuff, and I go, "Hey, what do you have?" And they go, "Black Diamond IPA," and I'd go, "I'll have a Sierra Nevada." But then once you started, you changed it. It was good stuff.
It was, and it was really working with the vendors at Brewer Supply Group, and those first 6 months to a year was really about making connections at all these supply places and knowing that I was just going to buy whatever you give me.
Right.
I was like, whatever you've got, I'll take.
How is that now at Moylan's? You still have to deal with hop contracts, right?
Yeah,
is it a little easier?
we have. The thing is we have been working on this whole our production facility that we like to do outside of the pub, and that we've been talking about for 5 years, and we're still in the process. That process is still occurring.
Yeah.
And so we've already kind of taken a fair amount, been fairly aggressive on hop contracts, thinking that we would have already got this production facility.
So you got a shitload of hops is what you're saying?
So we've got some...
Not a production facility yet?
We've got some hops that I'm sure I'm going to get like 1 million emails tomorrow.
Yeah, I take it back.
Thank you.
Only for local trade or something.
There you go. Well, hey, you can owe a lot. You'll have a lot of favors owed back to you,
right?
So.
When I first started at Moylan's, I asked Roger Davis at Faction for a box of mosaics, and I was like, I have some hops to trade for you. And he was like, I don't want what you got.
Oh, no. Now you do.
Now I'm like...
How much does that sound like Roger?
Yeah. He didn't even ask. I don't want what you got.
I don't want what you got.
He's like, what do you got?
Right.
Is that good?
We're done here.
We're done here.
Nate's Roger
we're done here.
So, yeah, I brought him a box of Srirachis and took a box of mosaics. He was like, what the fuck did you do? And I did it while he wasn't there. So,
Nice.
He was like, I'm still trying to get rid of that box of Srirachis.
All right, I got to get us to a break soon, but before we do that, I do have the double kilt lifter in my glass that I was making fun of before the break because it's an 11% beer. No, I think you gave me this earlier. Didn't this get brought in from Bevo earlier? This is not the double kilt lifter?
I think Scott said that there.
Oh, where's my double kilt lifter taste? Damn it.
I forgot. Actually, I didn't care.
I thought I'd been sipping on 11% beer.
Well, maybe we should.
We should do both.
No, this
All
is
right, so what is this one?
The GABF award winning.
Yeah, it's the Dragoon's Dry Irish Stout.
Great beer.
Wow, it is dry.
I know.
Nice.
So this is the batch that we actually sent to GABF. I actually
yes.
dug out a few bottles for the show. And so it's actually won 3 awards since.
Has it really?
Yeah, so it won...
Same batch?
Same batch.
Nice.
Silver at GABF, silver at European Beer Star, and silver at Brussels Beer Challenge over the weekend. So obviously,
such a great beer.
So I haven't really had to do much with this beer except kind of change a little bit of the hops.
Can you tell us what the recipe is? Ish?
Yeah, so it's the idea behind this is not skimp on ingredients. So it's Maris Otter is the base. And so I've really fought to keep it as Maris Otter as the base.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like 10% roast barley, 14% flaked barley. And then we get into like a little bit of pale crystal and then a little secret sauce.
It's good. You keep fighting fighting to keep it Maris. Then you can say, well, it's proven itself.
Well, that's just it. So this is, I think it's 5th medal in 7 years at GABF, or 3rd medal in 7 years at GABF. So we've actually kind of covered the whole spectrum of gold, silver, bronze now.
Nice.
So it's, we won silver 3 years ago, my first year there, and then at Moylan's, and then this year a silver. So maybe in 2 years we'll be up to a gold.
There you go.
Like
And the hops in this one?
So I kind of play around with them a lot, especially because it's mostly Willamette or Pearl to bitter.
Okay.
And then we do a 30-minute addition of Willamette and Pearl, and then a really small addition of East Kent Goldings in the finish.
Nice.
And then we do it both on CO2 and nitro.
Oh, yeah.
So the idea is that we have it at the pub at both versions, so you can kind of do either or. And then mostly for distribution, we just do nitro.
Beautiful. We might have to get some of this on here at the Hop Grenade. We have a nitro tap.
It is.
Did we get some?
Yeah. We've had it before.
Beautiful. It's good beer.
I know, right?
Oh, it drinks so easy.
It's killer.
And then so it's between 1054, 1056 starting gravity. We usually end up around 1014 to 1016 final gravity. Right around that, between 5.5%. I really like it.
Yeah. What yeast do you use? Is it English strain?
It's actually 001.
It is.
Fermented at 66 degrees.
Okay. Nice and cold.
Nice and cold. Doesn't shoot off a lot of esters.
Mm-hmm.
We actually ferment most everything. Most everything we make is with 001.
Okay.
And then on the cold side of anywhere between 62 to 66 to 68.
Okay. Not that anybody cares, but that's where I always ferment my Cal Ale too. 66 degrees. That's my magic fermentation temperature.
All right.
I don't know why. Someone told me that a long time ago. Like when I started, I always did it at 68.
Yeah.
And it was Jamil or somebody who went, just do it even colder. Do it at 66. Don't worry, it's still going to go fine. And I liked my beer better every time I did it that way.
I do 64.
64 too. Yeah.
So we usually, when we do things like anything like above 8%, we usually start it at 62.
Okay.
So like our double IPAs, we do Kill Lifter at 66, but we do like anything hopsicle or anything like that, we usually start it around 62 for like the first 2 to 3 days.
Wow.
And then
so you hold it there. You don't just let it rise. You hold it at 62.
Hold it at 62.
Okay.
So we try to like limit the amount of ester formation or anything like that, especially for things that are going to end up 9, 10, 11%.
Okay.
Really try to limit those ester potential.
And in those, at the end of those 2 days, you figure they might be like halfway to terminal gravity, or
it's maybe about a third of the way.
Third of the way. Okay.
Yeah. And then, if we want to pick up a little bit of fruity esters, we'll give it, we'll let it ramp it up to like 64 and then to 66.
Yeah.
And then after about a week or so, then we'll turn the jackets off and kind of let it get up to around 68 or so.
Yeah, and that'd be just a small amount of esters that would be added.
And then really kind of let the diacetyl rest kind of work its way out.
Sure.
And then, and that's kind of how we do like higher alcohol beers.
Okay. That 001 down at 62 degrees. It has such a range of temperatures you could do it at. It's crazy yeast.
Total workhorse.
Yeah.
Those beers held up really well. I mean, I assume it's bottled quite some time ago.
It was actually bottled August 1st. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, we had to get beers early to GABF this year. So,
I saw your bottling line, by the way.
That little itty bitty thing?
And by bottling line, I mean you guys are working your ass off in there.
It's a four-banger from Maheen that, has been around from, 1990. I don't know.
1990 grunge, I think, is where it was.
Ask Dave whenever he started making machines, and it was number 2.
It's the second Maheen ever.
It's like second or third Maheen. I call him for parts, and he goes, "Oh, dude, just buy a new one."
Yeah, he's like, seriously.
Stop calling me and buy a new one.
The funny thing about that is you couldn't fit it in there even if you wanted to buy a new one.
Well, that's just it. I'm like, Brendan, we should spend $80,000 on a new one. It would be awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to get 6 text messages from my coworkers being like, yes, let's buy one.
Sure. Yeah. And then he's like, remember that time I hired you? You're fired.
You're fired.
We're sticking with the Maheen. Yeah, I saw it in there. And just even looking at the space around it and the amount that you guys bottle, because like he said, 70% of your beer is leaving. Not all in bottles, of course. But I just thought, you guys are working your ass off in here.
So when we do a batch of Kilt Lifter, I would say now – it's a little different now that we do stuff at Heretic. But, when we do a batch of Kilt Lifter at the pub, we package it in 2 days.
Okay.
And it's it's filtered, and it's in the bright tank at noon.
Wow.
We do a little bit of check on the CO2 content.
Top it off.
And then we just kind of make sure everything's in spec, taste it. Sometimes we'll do a little plating, but most of it is straight into the bottle, and we'll start packaging it around 2:00, and then we go till about 5. And then
the next day,
and then we start it and then the next day is usually the big packaging run where it's 300 to 400 cases.
Wow.
And it starts at 7, and then we finish at 7, and it's...
you guys should try child labor. It works for China.
Right?
Yeah.
Up and down those stairs.
They're doing great.
They're doing
really
fantastic.
Great.
All right, I got to get us to a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about the collaboration beer that you did with our Nate over here.
Oh! Harry. Not Beardy, but Harry.
But Harry. Yeah, Beardy's out, Harry's in. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about more Cowbell, the collaboration between Moylan's and Nate Smith, the entity that is Nate Smith. Hang in there. It's The Session. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. The Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Have you ever dreamed of attending the World Brewing Academy? This year, thanks to Lallemand and Danstar, one lucky brewer will make that dream a reality for free. Lallemand and Danstar invite you to enter the Beer School 2016 contest. One lucky grand prize winner will receive fully paid tuition to the 2016 World Brewing Academy web-based concise course in brewing technology, worth almost $4,000. From now until December 11, 2015, every Danstar yeast packet you use is your ticket to enter. Visit danstaryeast.com for the details and to print your official entry form. There's no limit on the number of times you can enter, so get brewing with Danstar and get your entries into the Danstar 2016 Beer School Contest. Whether you want to build your homebrewing skills or build a career as a professional brewer, this course will change the way you think of beer and brewing. Enter at danstaryeast.com and get the dry yeast advantage with Lallemand and Danstar Premium Brewing Yeast and enter to win. For nearly 40 years, one organization has had your back. The American Homebrewers Association. Are you a member? Why not? Join the more than 40,000 brewers who enjoy all the American Homebrewers Association has to offer. Like Zymergy Magazine, in print and online, plus the Zymergy app. Zymurgy is the leading publication for amateur brewers around the world. Supporters also get member deals at their local breweries, bars, and homebrew shops. These alone quickly pay for your membership. You'll also get great member-only resources at homebrewerassociation.org and access to AHA events like the National Homebrewers Conference and the National Homebrew Competition. The American Homebrewers Association promotes the hobby of homebrewing, protects the interests of homebrewers, and brings beer lovers together. Become a member today. It costs less than a batch of beer and gives back so much more. Visit homebrewerassociation.org.
That's it. I've had it. I am never putting hops in my beer again.
What? Why?
It's just too ridiculous. Insane prices, stupid contracts, high shipping costs, crappy selection.
Dude, you need Nico Brew.
Nico Brew will rock your f***ing face right the f*** off your f***ing skull. $5 shipping to all 50 states, plus fantastic international rates get you low prices on Nico Brew's great selection of hops and more. Whether you're a home brewer, a pro brewer, or a homebrew shop owner, Nico Brew can get you the hops you need in increments big and small, single orders, spot buys, or full contracts. And there's only one place to join the uber special secret elite bare bones club where you'll get the best deals anywhere.
Holy shit.
NicoBrew.com. NIKOBREW. Nico Brew, your bare bones buddy in the brewing business.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters, this is Jamel Zanisha, and I love a bold, hoppy beer, one that spits resin in your face and makes you cry uncle. There are a lot of great hoppy beers out there, but at Heretic, we want to make something as bold, dank, and resiny as possible. We use hops at every chance we get, including multiple dry hop additions. The result is Heretic Evil Cousin. This light golden, 8% Imperial IPA has an easy malt character that helps take the edge off the massive bittering, but it takes a back seat to the in-your-face hop character. We make sure this beer finishes dry so the hops can jump out and slam you in the taste buds. If you can't get enough hoppy goodness, Evil Cousin is your cup of tea. Cheers.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on two gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
Welcome back to the program. We are hanging out with the More Cowbell dudes. Nate Smith and Derek Smith.
More cowbell. We're actually brothers.
You guys,
Smith brothers.
The Smith brothers. So these boys did a collaboration beer called More Cowbell, and we're going to learn about that in just a second. Before we do that, I wanted to let you know about the Brewers Association, the Brewers publication book, Quality Management. You should go check it out if you are looking to become a professional brewer, or more importantly, if you're already a professional brewer. This is the book for you. Quality Management. It's something that I think all pro brewers should be paying attention to, especially in the craft industry. I know there's a lot of talk about it right now, that the downfall of craft beer will not be consolidation. It will be poor quality management, and it's not having a lab, and it's not paying attention to how you're brewing. Check out the book, Quality Management. Ken Grossman says making great beer is hard. Making the same great beer every day is even harder. Ensuring that your great beer is still great after packaging is harder still. And then the hardest thing of all all is ensuring that every customer gets the great beer you brewed, whether they drink it in your pub or another establishment or from a glass, bottle, or can. That's Ken Grossman for Sierra Nevada talking about the new book, and he says that the fundamentals that Mary details in this book are what you need. So check it out. You can go over to Brewers Publications and order your copy of Quality Management. It should be on your shelf at your brewery. And if it's not, your beer better be damn good. I don't want to walk in there and find out that your quality sucks and you didn't buy this book.
Having just walked in and not knowing what you're talking about at all, I want to say kudos for quality management. Yes. I feel like anybody who's looking to move up in the corporate world needs to learn how to manage people, and therefore you need to be able to do that in a quality manner and have people respond very well. So quality management, to me, has made leaps and bounds in my professional career.
Fuck off.
Okay.
That's how I manage. That's quality management from the Brewing Network.
I remember Paul Gatz at the opening statement of the CBC in Denver being like, don't fuck it up for the rest of us.
Right? And he's right. So small brewers, big brewers, check out the book. You need it. Quality Management from Brewers Publications. All right, boys. So let me get the backstory on this beer. Derek and Nate, you guys knew each other before recently? What?
Yeah. Oh, come on. We hang in the same circles, right? Aren't we all in the same circle here in the Bay Area?
Pretty much.
Just pretty much like...
It's a big, stupid circle.
Right? And we all just like clusterfuck together.
Right. So what happened? You guys...
Derek's nice enough to buy me pints sometimes, and me likewise as well, and it's cool. So I saw him at the 21st Amendment grand opening, and he said, let's do a collaboration beer.
Nice.
Because I know Nate's a collab whore.
I'll never turn that down. I said, absolutely. Let's
to
do
know
it.
Nate is to know that he's a collab whore.
Yes.
I don't know who's the bigger collab whore, Nate or Patrick Crew.
Oh.
Well,
listen.
Maybe outside the industry. I don't know. Inside the industry, I can't claim any sort of credibility there, but
that is a self-described description of Patrick Rue. He is a collaboration whore.
Is that what he says? Yeah. There's a lot of collaboration whores nowadays. Nate's just the biggest homebrew collab whore. McKellar's like a career on collaboration, basically. Stone's now they're becoming the latest collab.
Yeah, but
who's complaining?
But Nate and Stone make good beer.
Right. The quality difference.
I'm not going to invite myself into Derek's brewery, but I was happy to see him, and he mentioned that he wanted to do a collab. I was like, absolutely, sure.
Because I know Nate had done beers at like Cellar Maker and with Roger at Faction,
and most of them are even good.
Right? I think I had one at Hogg's Apothecary, and I was like, Nate kind of knows what he's doing. So often.
The Cellar Maker collab was
He
killer.
called me up, and he's like, so are you going to grain out, or is that not part of the deal? I was like, well, sure.
Now, let's clarify that. I saw that in my notes. That Derek likes to ask when he does collaborations is, are you here to drink, or are you here to work? Do I have this right?
Pretty much, yeah. If I have people come in and they want to like make a beer, I'm pretty much like, are you here to work? Or are you here to drink?
Yeah, it's a fair question.
So I'm like I don't mind making a beer, but I just don't want to be graining out all the grain that you sit there and make me throw in this batch. If you're just not into it.
No. When I collaborate, I bring a crew for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Tasty doesn't necessarily grain out.
Drinking for me too. Yeah.
He does stand around drinking, yet he also takes care of the labor.
See, McDowell's like 2 steps ahead as usual. So
because he collaborates, but then he brings people to do his graining out for him.
Right.
Well, we can both go drinking.
Nate, you can't pull that off. If you showed up like that, you would look like a douchebag.
It wouldn't work for me.
No, you have to. You've got to do the labor yourself.
Nicole's not rolling up, graining out for you, or
no.
Okay, that you might be able to pull off. But Tasty,
I've seen her do a grain out. Yeah.
Tasty, you can pull it off. I mean, people are worried.
They fight to get a chance at that job.
So, all right, and
I got to sweat out the alcohol as we drink. So that was sort of my, thinking going into this.
And you do like to be in the brew house. You're not there just to drink, Nate. You enjoy it.
No, I showed up with my boots. I was like, I'm here for that too. Nice. I mean, I'm not just kicking back.
I usually have 1 or 2 people that can grain out for me, depending on collaboration beers. There's usually a lot going on that day. Because you're like trying to talk to them and kind of get them involved, and so it's always hard to be like. Do you want to grain out, or like you got to pitch yeast and do this fermenter, and trying to do all these different things, and then still try to engage in the person that's collaborating, and are they actually going to? Some people are just they don't know how to do all this stuff, and how much of it is like, I don't want you to fuck anything up,
right?
I got to figure out how to fix it if you fuck it up.
Yeah, I'd be just in there screwing things up. Like, I would want to help, because I'd feel bad if I was just standing around drinking, so I'd want to help, but I'd be the guy who I'd just be screwing things up. And you're like, thanks for helping.
Yeah,
you have to
right.
move out of the way now. Because Nate knows his way around a brew house. You kind of got to know what you're doing.
Yeah, but the big thing is when inviting people in, you have like that level of liability of like having people in, and like, we've got big nasty chemicals, and God forbid somebody trip over a hose or spill some sort
or
of
a boil over while the
boil over
guest brewer is up on the deck.
Right?
Yep. Did you make him wear a hairnet? You should have.
We did make him tie his hair back.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, it's always back when I'm in the brew house.
Man bun.
In a man bun?
I don't want to die that way.
It's a rough way to go.
Yeah. No, I think when I go in and do collabs with people, I try and make sure that whatever way I can, give them a little bit of a break while still engaging them and having fun and being part of the brew house as much as I can. I don't want it to be a day where they have to spend extra time, or it's a burden, or they need to spend 2 hours at the end they wouldn't have normally spent.
Yeah.
So anything that I can do to alleviate that is good. And that was something I was coming straight off of Brew Day with the Faction guys. And that's definitely how Ben and Roger operated their brewery. I mean, they wanted me to be a part of that, and they actually wouldn't have had it any other way. It wouldn't have worked. So I think that helped a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of like, Nate kind of missed the whole mashing in process because of the traffic that day.
Smart. That was where I missed that bags up the stairs part.
but luckily all the bags
traffic, quote unquote. I was like, I was at the dive bar down the block.
He was at home banging Nicole for a little morning, and then
a little morning nookie, right?
And then traffic.
Traffic, right?
It's a convenient excuse.
But actually, we have a rig because it's a 20-barrel system, and we have a rig drive in there, so it's not like
that helps.
So we don't have to so I'm not like sitting there shoveling in like I did at Black Diamond. We'd have to sit there and shovel stuff in, and it's a
82% base malt too. So we had that on our side with this beer too. That helped a little bit.
It was like 4 bags of grain, and so it was very easy. Like, oh my gosh, it's 4 bags of grain.
You hardly broke a sweat.
Yeah, right. It was more about like trying to actually switch over the 2 silos, which is a little bit more convoluted, and having to switch over the 2 silos.
All right, let's back up a little and talk about that.
If you got 2 silos, we're going to use them both.
Yeah. You got to. All right, let's back up a little. So you guys decide to collaborate. You start working on it. I have here in my notes that at least Derek, drunkenly, the 2 of you started writing the recipe in the middle of a night out at Great American Beer Festival.
GABF Thursday night at Star Bar.
Star Bar.
Right at the beginning of
that was good times out at Star Bar.
Right at the end of the night. We're like closing the place down. Yeah. And Nicole's feeding the fire, getting us shots.
That a girl.
I think we were drinking double IPAs. I had already I was already like 5 whiskeys into
that a boy. Everybody doing well.
And then I think we were doing shots of, I don't remember what.
We were doing shots of Fernet.
Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, God.
Why? Yeah, it was because we had an industry person go to the bar and get shots from San Francisco. Exactly.
Because Nicole.
So all right. So
I'm there taking notes on my phone because I'm not going to remember this. Hopefully, I can remember what I'm scrolling on this thing right now.
My jargon,
Because I had given Nate like this big, huge, long list of things he could brew,
which is great
at the brewery. Because I was like, these are the things that I have on hand. If you want to do something else, then I'm going to have to figure it out.
Okay.
So I was like, these are like the 2 or 3 yeast strains I have. These are the base malts that we use. These are a few of the specialty grains, and then these are a lot of the different hops that we have. So it was, and then I kind of left the whole thing up to Nate.
Okay.
To kind of really figure it out, because I was like, I'll do whatever you want, because I was like, I figured if there's something that you haven't made before, or you want to make, or I figured that it would be kind of fun to, if there's something that Nate wants to do specifically, then I'm down for it,
But he's too nice for that. Nate's not going to pick something that's not on the menu.
I'm not going to make you make something that you don't want to make.
But I gave you a lot of parameters.
You're totally right, Justin.
I gave him a lot of parameters. I was like, hey, let's do something smoky. Let's do something this.
Yeah.
Let's do something that. Because I was like, let's do, black lager, or let's do smoked Hefeweizen or something like that. I was like,
Grodzinski.
So you could do anything.
I pretty much left it open for
everything.
Make
a great sir.
And so hearing that, and now folks, what they landed on, which is
I a hoppy pale ale.
Which is great to me because I love a hoppy pale ale.
Absolutely.
So you said you could do anything you want, and Nate comes back and goes,
hoppy pale ale.
I want to do a hoppy pale ale.
Derek's like, we already got like 3 of those in the menu. What's your problem?
Yeah. I was like,
this one will
cool.
be different.
That's cool because I can sell it in like 3 days.
That's true.
But I was
that's what I want to drink. That's kind of where the collaborations start. That's usually one of the first criteria. And so, especially when Derek mentioned that they have a silo of Maris Otter, I knew it wasn't going to be IPA and thought maybe a session IPA or something session hoppy. I was like, no, let's just not mess around with that. Let's go straight for pale ale.
Why does Maris Otter mean it's not an IPA?
It doesn't mean it's not an IPA. It just means that I want to bring out the flavor of Maris Otter and not just squash it, not just like mash super low and do something that would kind of diminish the character of Maris Otter. Let's make that part squarely a part of the beer.
Okay.
Right?
And so for a lot of our pub beers, we actually use Maris Otter as a base malt. Even for our golden ale, it's Maris Otter based. All of our dark beers, the porter and the dry stout, is Maris Otter based. And then we also do an ESB that's Maris Otter. So normally we do anything that's like 5% and under is usually Maris Otter based, unless it's like the wheat beer, which is two-row wheat, obviously.
Okay.
But
and your other silo, I assume, is a standard American two-row?
Yep.
Okay. So what's the percentage of those two in this beer?
41% of each.
Okay.
So the two-row, Great Western two-row, I believe. And
it's actually Gambrinus two-row.
And Gambrinus two-row and crisp Maris Otter.
Crisp Maris Otter. Right. So, BSG, we've worked with BSG on doing super sacks into our silo, and so they'll...
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, so they'll actually brew, they'll take super sacks, blow it into a truck, and then they'll deliver it to us. And we get it in...
Why? I'm confused. I thought the point of a silo was that just a truck is necessary. Like, where does the super sack come in if you have a silo?
So they import the super sacks in.
I see.
Because the actual silo won't hold more than like 18,000 pounds. So the best way to do it is to get it in super sacks, and then we basically take it out of the super sacks, put it into a truck, and then blow it into the silo.
So you're buying it in super sacks, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're basically buying super sacks. We buy 5 to 6 super sacks at a time, and then...
So it's a way for you to be able to buy in bulk.
Yeah, basically. So we've got 2 silos, one at like 30,000 pounds and one around 20,000 pounds.
Okay.
And so we get 30,000 pounds of two-row from Gambrinus about every 6 to 8 weeks. And then we get the super sacks of crisp are usually about once a quarter, or once every 4 or 5 months.
Okay.
Is it the fleur malted crisp?
It is.
Glen Eagle?
I don't think it's the Glen Eagles. No,
right.
It's just the regular regular crisp Maris Otter.
Sure.
So Nate, you find out that they have a silo full of Maris
Otter. We don't have to open bags even.
Mm-hmm. And you want to showcase this malt.
We want to showcase that. And then Derek's talking. We're at Star Bar. We're like a few beers deep, and he's telling me that he's yes, exactly. He's telling me that he's really into playing around with Munich in his beers.
Okay,
perfect. Also would fit into pale ale really well, and something I wouldn't normally want to use in an IPA. So this is even convincing me more that we have to go straight up pale ale. So we've got Maris Otter and then Munich to kind of reinforce it. So you have toastiness kind of on 2 levels, and then a little bit of the crisp Crystal 8.
Yeah. No, so it's actually the Castle Blonde.
Yes.
Yeah, Blonde.
Also English Crystals, very
it's actually Belgian.
Belgian. I'm wrong on 5 accounts here.
But is it Crystal 8?
I defer to Derek.
Yeah. I believe it's actually Caramel 8.
Caramel 8. That's a synonymous. That's okay.
French.
Which?
Castle.
Is it French or German?
I think it's French.
That's a Pilsner crystal malt? Or no?
So it's Pilsner malt that's been caramelized into Caramel 8, I believe.
I've never heard of that malt.
This you had on hand already?
Yes,
okay,
so
this wasn't some special order.
Yeah, so it's Cara Blonde, I think is the technical term from Castle.
Yeah, 8's not that
right?
big.
Yeah, Cara Blonde. That was 7%.
Does it still have that kind of perfumey deal that Pilsner malt can have, but just...
No. So it's basically two-row that is, or Pilsner two-row malt that is then crystallized or caramelized into a darker malt.
But 8 is
Can you
that
detect it in this beer? I mean, can you knowing it?
A little. You really have to search through it because I think it's really kind of heavy on the
it's
maris.
more color in this beer. Than
It's such a small percentage of a small lullaby.
It's 7%.
We are.
Of the total grain bill.
Yeah, but it's a small lullaby.
I didn't go get it either. They all grabbed their own at the break, and then I stole Nathan's.
Would you like some? There you go. I promise I
have some. Jason,
killed my cooties.
Good to know.
It's dark like an English pale ale.
It's
right?
got a little bit of that copper color. That's definitely
English character.
And that's not just from the crystal. That's the Maris Otter too, right?
It's the Maris Otter as
Maris
well.
Otter, plus we used a little bit of Munich Type 1, which is the lightest color Munich malt that you can get from Weirmann. I've kind of been playing around with that at the brewery, trying to put it into different beers because I'm really trying to simplify the Munich flavor of some of our beers because I know that everyone does Munich 10 and that's the normal standard Munich is Munich 10, and so this color of the Munich Type 1 is only 4.
Why are you trying to say what's wrong with Munich 10?
I just want to be able to put say instead of putting one bag of because I want to enhance the maltiness of the beer.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily want all the color of the Munich malt.
Okay.
I think it's more forgiving in a one-off like this too that you can use a malt that has a lower level bond and not mess it up. You have a little bit of more room for error that is a little less assertive, and that helps in our favor in terms of nailing it because we're only going to make this beer once and enjoy it the way it is. You don't want to be too off in the parameters.
Which malt is giving me this killer head retention and lacing down my glass? What's adding to that? Is that the combination of all of it?
I think
because I've had this beer for 20 minutes now.
Clean brewery, clean glassware.
Clean brewery, clean glass.
I mean, it looks really great. I still have. I've had several sips. I have a thick, creamy head on there.
No, it's got a lot of body when you taste it as well.
Yeah,
I think some of that comes from the Munich. Some of that probably comes from the Maris Otter.
Okay,
I think
154F mash temperature.
Yeah,
we keep 154.
We kind of mashed it slightly higher.
Are you happy with the color of this? Is this too dark for you, Derek?
Maybe it's slightly too dark, but I'm kind of every time I look at it, I'm like, I could have gone slightly more golden. But then I look at it.
God damn it, Nate!
God damn it, Nate!
Kicked out forever.
But then you taste it, and it's
and you're fucking good, right?
Yeah, so it's hard to complain about the color when it tastes like that.
No, it's a great color. You want to highlight something different about the beer, set it aside.
I think in using the Cara Blonde with the Munich and then the Maris Otter, I think it has this structure that really facilitates allowing some of those hops to kind of stand on their own as well, like the Mosaics and like the Eurekas, which are really high alpha, really hopping, kind of intensive flavors with high alphas and high oil contents that you almost need that maltiness to kind of stand up to those high alpha, high oil hops.
They certainly show up in the aroma. It's a great smelling beer.
Yeah.
So when we get into the hop, for the hops, it was very. Nate was like, "Oh, I want to use this to bitter and this to finish, and then this to kind of whirlpool hop." And I go, "Oh, I'd really like to use all these Willamettes that I have."
Yeah, great ideas, Nate.
One off, get it.
Check this out.
He's like, "Let's just bitter it with Magnum." I'm like, "That's awesome," but I have these 2005 Willamettes that I really have to use.
Gotta get this done. Yeah.
So we chewed through a couple of pounds of Willamettes.
So we chewed through some Willamettes, and then so it was. So we bittered with a little bit of those Willamettes and a little bit of Magnum, and then we did
3 pounds total for 20 barrels. So it's not
really
a high amount of bittering hop. Very low bittering hops.
It's only maybe 8 IBUs worth of the beer.
Okay,
exactly.
And then.
And there were no reservations about that, right, Nate?
No.
I mean, as a bittering hop, it doesn't matter too much anyway.
You want to get some
right?
kettle coagulation going. You want to get some isomerized bitterness, but we're sitting in the range, just like Derek said, of about.
But I mean, in terms of using Willamette or something else, you didn't care about the variety too much.
Not hugely important. I didn't want Willamette's a little higher cohumulone and kind of focused on aroma, so I didn't want to lean completely on it. And I didn't want
these were 9 alphas or something like that originally from 2010 or something like that. So these are, I mean, by the time you get down to 2010 and we're down at 2015, maybe 5,
might drop out a little bit. Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
But, they've been cold stored for for
the whole time.
And they smelled fine. Like when he proposed that, I Willamette, question mark, why would you do this? And he said, we have a lot of it. I said, okay, I totally get it.
But they actually
we're going to roll with that.
They actually do have a nice, like,
they do.
lemony kind of
fit and make them work.
Like,
it was originally grown like crazy so that Bud could use them as an aroma hop. So it's got to smell good if they're in good shape. Right?
Okay.
So we definitely use that for bittering. And I think that was a safe choice. There's nothing wrong with that.
What else?
And then we used a new hop, 07270.
I love that hop.
Around, was it 10 or 15?
That was at 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
72 and 70 are good numbers.
Mm-hmm. 72 and 70, yeah.
But you can't forget the leading zero. Why? Nobody knows. No, there actually is a reason.
Yeah, no, so the first two numbers are
the year.
Or the year, 07. So it's the first two numbers are the year. So it's one of the plantings was 07, and then they go through the number of. I think it's the number of.
I think 07 denotes when they first tried to make it a real hop, a production hop, and then like
270 is like the number of like seedlings that they've gone through that year, and that's the actual seedling number is 270. I think.
Okay,
is how they come up with those numbers.
So you got your hands on this and liked it.
Yeah, so that's the Hopsteiner hop, right?
Yeah, it is, and I've used it in to blend into like Hopsicle and some other things, and it's really pungent and really dank and really kind of like over the top Columbus kind of Apollo dank.
Too much garlic and onion, almost like Summit leaning. If you use it, lean on it too hard in the whirlpool or dry hop. So that's why we use it at 10 minutes. Like, let's blow off some of the more harsher aromatics, but keep kind of the core of that in there to reinforce the rest of the
I
hops.
actually talked to Jay at Hopsteiner, who is our local rep, and I was like, so what's the deal with like these 07270s? You know, when I bought them a couple of years ago, they were a little bit more pungent orange. Now they're getting into that garlic onion kind of flavor. And he said it had more to do with, them hanging on the vine. And so it's something that Hopsteiner's, trying to figure out as well. So it's trying to get the acreage and
like a late harvest question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Trying to everybody wants to pick mid harvest or early harvest, and sometimes those things aren't as easy. I think when sometimes you get into picking hops, obviously some things are there for picking. Like Citras and Simcoes, trying to get those big oil flavors, and so when you get into like these hops that are 18-19%, it is a byproduct of Apollo, and so
like these guys want to use it for oils and extracts, right? So they're going to pick it later so that most of the alpha is retained.
Yeah. So it's really so this is kind of like one of those things that they've been working on as far as like is it about the alpha acid or is it about the oil content and the flavors of the oils? And I think that's something that they're really trying to figure out. Hopsteiner is
like they want some of the craft market, like this Eureka hop, which is one of the other hops we used in this beer. They're probably more sensitive to the oil composition of presenting in a craft beer versus some of their other portfolio.
And I think Hopsteiner and Haas has kind of worked on that a lot in the last few years of actually getting into more of the craft beer market, having their hops available to smaller breweries and putting the minimums at a slightly more manageable level for breweries.
So you can buy that at a X thousand barrel brew pub and not feel like it's overwhelming. It's you're only committing to like 200 pounds, which I understand like 200 pounds for some people who have like a 7-barrel brewery can be a lot, and then you're kind of committed to that.
That creates more customers for them.
But at the same point, I think that Hopsteiner has realized that they kind of have to diversify their portfolio of people that they buy from, and that they've that some of these brew pubs can buy 200, 400 pounds of some of their experimental varieties of Eureka and 07270 or Lemon Drop or 6300.
I can't believe you still remember these numbers.
So, making them up.
Oh my God!
No. So you got to throw in. No, I can tell he's not, because 07270, which you've now beaten into my head.
Those all have a follower.
Mr. Yee would be proud of you right
39
now.
Alpha 10.
You got me to
amazing.
remember a number.
Love it so much.
We're writing our own grade book here. We're just making up the numbers.
All right, so you put in 07270 at 10 minutes in order to blow off some of these more volatile flavors.
Some of the craziest of the dank, but we want that there to reinforce what we put in the whirlpool, which was equal quantities of Eureka, another one that used to be called 05256. They've given that one a name now because they really think it can go somewhere.
Okay.
Rightfully so.
Which it probably will.
Yeah. And Mosaic. Then Mosaic kind of being tropical fruit, squishy fruit, some nice citrus character, and then 05256 being kind of more aggressive and dank and a little bit more Simcoe-like. And then as well, another equal amount of Southern Hemisphere hop, Racao, which has a little bit of like an Amarillo character and also a little bit of a tropical fruit character.
Okay.
And that was to kind of counterpoint those 07270, that super dank craziness once again, and to fill in the rest of the IBUs that we didn't get by doing a really mellow bittering addition.
And how many IBUs are we talking here?
109528.
Wow. Too many numbers. Nobody would know, but I mean, maybe 30 or 40 at the most.
Probably like 40, 30, between 38 and 43.
So about really isomerized IBUs that we added at the beginning of the boil. We did 75 minutes of isomerized IBUs, probably less than 10. And then the rest of it all coming from 10 minutes in whirlpool. So that's where it gets a little tougher to calculate for real, but it seems like it's about 40 on paper. And then I taste this beer, and I think that's probably about right. McDowell, what do you think? You're pretty good at guessing these kind of things.
Well, now I'm what I'm thinking, and what everybody seems to be thinking is that IBUs aren't necessarily IBUs. Like late ones may measure the same as the early ones, but they taste different. They don't have the perception of as much as bitterness. They're more like flavor, right? Which is bitterness is more like in the back of the mouth. So, like, a beer like this that you say is 45, and with all the late additions, it could be as low as like 30 or something.
Exactly. If you actually sent it to a lab and measured it.
Yeah, you'd be like surprised.
Right. They would measure maybe in 20 or 30 range, right?
Yeah, I made a session beer that was like 4.8, and my recipe was 100 IBUs, right? I mean, I loaded it up.
Yep.
And I had Drake's run the lab on it, and it turned out to be like 76.
Wow.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
But it still didn't taste like it because it was just so late.
Okay.
And loaded up in dry hop, too.
Yeah.
Which is another thing we did with this beer.
We used a fair amount of late hop additions in a lot of our hoppy beers. And so, like, I know we've sent our pale ale off to White Labs to get for, like, QC Day and things like that, which I think is great for a lot of brewers who are out there looking for stuff. I highly recommend Big QC Day.
Yeah, White Labs does it every year, Big QC Day. They put out promos on this show and everywhere else to let people know. And frankly, I think you're right. I don't even know that enough brewers take advantage of that because it's such an easy way to get accurate feedback on your beer.
I sent beers off about 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks ago, and they just posted everything on Friday.
Oh, nice.
And so we got a lot of positive, a lot of feedback on the 6 to 8 beers that we had sent down there. And I think it kind of helps you reinforce, what you think of perceptually versus like the actual things that kind of come through in a lab. And then it's always great to get feedback that, your VDKs are really low and that everything is clean.
Sure.
And so,
and then just giving you those baselines, like tasted, like you're saying, you had calculated 100 IBUs, and now you can kind of go, all right, at 100 IBUs, I'm getting 73. Sure. You can now plan accordingly.
Sure, get some real lab work, you can calibrate.
Yeah. So
for us, it's really hard to do all of that, for all that finite lab work, just because we don't have a lot of space for lab work.
Right. You don't have a lot of space for anything.
But you can appreciate it, right? So brewers that do have space and money.
I know that we had space at Black Diamond, which was like fantastic. Yeah. And so we really kind of nailed our lab work at Black Diamond because we had the space and we had the capabilities to do those kinds of things, which I wish at the pub we kind of had more of that.
Hey, but for a fraction of the cost, you send it off to White Labs, and they send it back to you, and it's done.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I like it.
And their testing methods are clean and is good, and you get the stuff back, and it wasn't a question mark. It's cool.
Yeah. All right, so we got through Whirlpool, and then you dry hopped as well, I assume.
66 degrees with 001, as Derek normally does.
It took about we got a slightly higher gravity because I think I had mashed a little bit from our calculation, we don't have the scale on our mash on our thing is slightly wonky.
Okay.
And so I had actually kind of thought that I would get a little bit worse extraction than we would, and so I kind of mashed everything. And so we had actually got a 1060 pre-boil, and I think we were looking for 1056 pre-boil.
Well, look, if Nate wasn't out dicking around and showing up late, that might not have happened.
And then,
Derek's like, I guess I'm making a different beer. This guy's not showing up. So.
Well, do you have the volume capability to add like some water in, and then?
And so what we kind of
make more of it.
We collected a little bit more.
Okay.
We collected about an extra barrel, and then.
Would you consider shortening the boil as well, maybe, or?
I think
a lot of Pilsner in this beer, so you could maybe do that.
We wanted to make sure we had a good. So sometimes we struggle with making sure that the boil is vigorous enough. So we want to make sure we blow off enough DMS and we don't have any DMS precursors in the beer. So we also want to make sure that happens as well. We might have gotten a little bit more color because of the 90-minute boil versus the standard,
but that's your usual way of doing it, 90 minutes, right?
We do a standard 90-minute boil. Mm-hmm. But we want to make sure, because the stack on this thing is so tall, so our kettle stack is quite tall, and so we want to make sure we blow off all that DMS.
So you ended up with a 1060.
So we ended up 1062-ish, 1061, 1062.
Yeah, so
right up there.
On the stronger pale ale, kind of slightly bigger side for pale ale, but I think the flavor profile still fits.
Yeah, what is it? Is it now 6.8 or something? 6.8%? 6.5%?
It's 6.3.
6.3.
So you mashed high. So what was your finishing grade?
1014.
I see.
1014, 1015.
Yeah.
So, such a good sweet spot for a beer that I love it.
It's well attenuated. If somebody say, 1014, that's going to be sweet. No, this beer
is nice and dry. It doesn't taste like
the body's there. That's what you're measuring. And right. Measuring the body in the beer.
There's a little bit of toast. There's a little bit of you mentioned biscuit, that Munich, but none of that is sweet.
No.
So the idea was to really kind of keep the caramel flavor down, so it's not like this cloyingly sweet like
malt flavor, not sweetness.
Yeah. No, well done, boys.
Malt flavor, not sweetness.
Yeah, look out, Grunion.
This
is
what's a Grunion?
It's a tasty.
Well, it's
thank
a
you,
fish.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh.
And then
adjustment in the dry hop. I think that was key on brew day. We were thinking about using one of the 3 hops we use in the Whirlpool, and then we changed it in the dry hop.
Yeah, so Racal was like this. It's about a 9.5%, New Zealand hop, and it's got like really nice like stone fruit, kind of grassy flavors. So a little bit of peach apricot, and then when you start trying to pair that with like Mosaic and Eureka, it'll just be washed away because those things have just like so much aggressive flavors that I don't think that you could have really like smelled or tasted the Racal in the beer.
Yeah.
So I went to Nate. I was like, I just don't think we should use the Racal in the dry hop. I said, let's use something with a little bit more oomph, a little bit more oil content, like Amarillo, that kind of has something similar.
This is a good way to kind of adapt on brew day to your final vision in the beer, and then use have a lot of Amarillo probably, but that's one way to use it effectively if you do have it.
Because I was like the other 2 hops don't have like that grapefruit kind of component to it that I felt like if we put something like Amarillo in there, then this was like the counterpoint to all that tropical fruit of
none of that like
and
cascade on steroids, right? Yeah.
So and because Eureka, I think is Hop Standard kind of describes it as Super Simcoe. So the idea is that it's not that we can get like the piney kind of aspect of all these new school hops. You can get the pine, you can get the tropical fruit, you can get the blueberry kind of things, and then still get like that grapefruit flavor of like Amarillo into the aroma that makes it more inviting.
Sounds like a cool part of a collaboration is where you get to do things on the fly, right? You're smelling the Whirlpool, you're tasting the wort. You're going like, let's change up the dry hop. That's pretty cool.
I'm so unqualified for that. It does sound like fun, though. Sounds like a good idea.
Because you got to adjust and try and make it the best that it can be based on what you have. Right?
It's a one-off, so you don't. It's not like you got to how do we make this last time?
Exactly. It's not like it's all written in stone.
How are we going to make it the next time? can we get these hops? You don't care. It's a one-off.
And I probably won't make it again unless
because Nate's a pain in the ass. I mean, but other than that,
he's done sweeping up long hairs off the floor in the brewery.
So I'm probably never going to make
out of the drain.
I mean, I'm glad we made it and all,
like my
but
shower drain or something.
Never again.
He's like, God, I had to listen to death metal. This is terrible.
The best part about the brew day was the shower afterwards. For sure.
It was Nate leaving.
Yeah.
All right.
The fermentation happened. It was done in 4 days, and then so what we do when we do dry hop is we kind of crash everything down to 55, let the yeast flocculate. We'll try to dump as much yeast as we can, and then we do a dry hop, and then what we do is we rouse the beer 3 days after the dry hop. So for every day after the dry hop, we rouse it 5 psi. So
to keep the hops in suspension, kind of extract oils and stuff.
Yeah. So it's after we cool it down to 55, the next day we dump the yeast, dry hop it, and then the day after we do the dry hop, we rouse it to 5 psi.
Okay.
Every subsequent day, we dry hop it up to 15 psi. So we get a fair amount of. I think the rousing time is usually half an hour to 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And then kind of let it settle, and then we'll cool it after the fourth day of the rousing, and then from there we'll start to carb it. This was biofined.
Okay,
so you can actually see it.
Perfect.
It's clear.
It's
exactly how I would treat a beer like that. It's awesome.
It tastes great. Looks great.
I mean, for not being filtered, that biofine shit works.
I love it.
I've also still got that thick, creamy head I was talking about, and I'm 2/3 through the beer.
We'll attribute that to the Belgian malt that I could
Charlie Benford would be proud of this beer.
Yeah, he would. The bubbles.
The good old Popo foam.
The foam.
You got the bubbles right.
Yeah, he's going to be on next month.
The bubbles.
Nice.
The bubbles. Yeah. Well, it's a great beer, gentlemen.
Thank you. It worked out well.
I've now drank enough of it.
I've actually drank a whole growler Friday night.
Did you?
It is so good.
I could drink a growler.
I could drink a growler.
I
went up to this might be gone now too, but I didn't even know. I wanted to go have this beer at Moylan's in the proper setting before the show, so I went up Friday night and had it at the pub. Didn't even tell Derek. I just just screw it. Let's just go. And I went up. Nicole and I went up and had it, and they had a cask of it with even more mosaic in it.
Oh wow,
which was a lot of fun.
I was going to say,
really
what's
good.
the proper setting? Sitting next to Brendan, getting hammered.
Exactly. That would have been, but he wasn't there.
He wasn't there
at the Hyatt in Denver.
So at the pub we actually have it on cask at proper cellar temperature of 55 degrees, and then so we took it off the tank and then just dry hopped it in the firkin with all mosaics. It's 8 ounces in.
Wow.
10-gallon firkin, so it's more of that mosaic kind of flavor. So it's kind of that more expressive flavor of mosaic that I really wanted to accentuate. Because I know everybody loves mosaic.
Oh, sure.
Secret drug.
Pretty fun. It tasted really good. I had to ask the staff. I was like, I don't see it on the menu. Where is it? Oh, it's way up in the corner.
It's up in the corner.
Oh, they were hiding it.
Yeah.
Staff didn't like you either,
I think it was
Nate.
a secret staff. Yeah, they were like, who is this guy?
Stash.
He's not from around here.
Need to know basis.
Yeah.
Nate, this
Nate
might have been this might have been the Pro-Am beer that finally got you, that finally broke you through to a medal. This would have done well, right, Tasty?
Yeah, I think it could. I love this beer.
We'll have to enjoy it privately.
It's got great malt aroma too. It's just great.
I'm going to make you a little
get a little tinfoil medal,
origami medal over here at the break.
Best effort.
We're going to give you the BN Pro-Am award. It's really good. I'm going to take a break.
I know he's been working on his Brewcaster Challenge beers and things like that.
Well, no, I already failed all that.
Yeah, he lost. He got his ass. Like always, Nate chokes in competition every time.
Tasty handed my ass to me, and then I got eked by Justin just barely.
That was the 3-2.
Eked by Justin. That's a pretty big slap in the face, man.
Well, yeah, look, and you're
that's what I'm saying.
No,
you're
he
picking
beat
a
me.
loser to go brew with. You should really be picking the winner.
I know, right?
I had to get way out on the mic and stand up and be like, "No, I think I beat Justin."
He did. He beat me. My kick Nate in the Schwartz beer didn't work out.
Well, a brown pale ale is pretty good.
All right, I got to get us to a break, mostly because I have to urinate. When we come back, we've got a few things to do. You can stick around with us, Derek?
Sure, why not?
Well, because we're going to play a game tonight, and I think we'll talk a little bit more about this beer because we're going to drink more of it.
Yeah, I'm going to have more.
Yeah, that's
Might fall over later on.
It's great. Yeah, that's okay.
I've got Christmas beer too. too. We just finished up too.
So we got more Moylan's beer to try.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so we're going to take a break here. When we come back, I got to try some double kill lifter, some Christmas beer, and more with Derek Smith from Moylan's Brewing Company in Novato, California. We'll be right back. It's The Session.
You're listening to the Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
A few things happened 30 years ago.
ARPANET migrated to TCP/IP, and the Internet was born. Revenge of the Jedi was renamed Return of the Jedi and opened in theaters. Mila Kunis and Emily Blunt were born, beginning a rad fantasy in my mind.
But all of that pales next to the fact that HopTech opened its doors and began blowing homebrewers right out of their mash tuns. HopTech doesn't fuck around. Real people shipping awesome shit straight to you. Their new website is fast and easy to navigate. Or just call 800-379-4677 and let badass bitch Jade and the gadget guy Roberto blow their warm load of customer service all over you. So visit the site or visit the store in Dublin, California and support those that support you. Get your brewing on at hoptech.com.
Say hello to my little friend.
You've heard about White Labs Pure Pitch yeast. Pure Pitch is yeast grown right in its final packaging. That means yeast that has never been exposed to the environment. And White Labs Pure Pitch yeast for homebrewers is now available to everyone at homebrew retailers nationwide. Easy to use, perfectly sized, and ready to pitch. White Labs yeast packaged using their Flex Cell process ensures the purest yeast on the market. Visit whitelabs.com to learn more about Pure Pitch, Flex Cell technology, and how it's created. Then visit a homebrew retailer near you for your own perfectly sized package of Pure Pitch yeast. And you can say hello to your own little friend. www.whitelabs.com.
When I order a beer, I want my server to know more about it than I do. I want someone who enjoys good beer and loves helping others enjoy it too. I want someone who knows how to pour a perfect pint for every beer style. I want a Cicerone.
The Cicerone Certification Program is creating the type of people who help you enjoy great beer. Home brewers and craft beer lovers know beer is more flavorful and complex than ever, and it takes some serious knowledge to store and serve beer right. Cicerones know beer. There are 3 levels in the Cicerone program: Certified Beer Server, Certified Cicerone, and Master Cicerone. Cicerones are truly the sommeliers of beer. The best beer locations have a Certified Cicerone on staff. Relaxed and unpretentious. Cicerones are tested on storing and serving beer, beer styles, flavor and tasting, the brewing process and ingredients, and pairing food with beer. Learn more about your next beer guide at cicerone.org. Certified Cicerone, because it takes top talent to present a perfect pint.
Do you know the 3 most important rules in brewing? Sanitation, sanitation, and sanitation. And no one does it better than 5-Star Chemicals. 5-Star knows sanitation. You can only sanitize clean equipment. And 5-Star knows how to clean, too. For craft brewers and home brewers, 5-Star has what you need to keep your fermenters, serving tanks, kegs, and draft lines sparkling and free of any beer-spoiling bacteria. PBW, caustic, acid cleaners, Star San, SaniClean, lubricants and defoamers, pH stabilizers, and more. 5-Star Chemicals has cleaning supplies, safety supplies, heat exchangers, pumps, hoses, and valves. And 5-Star is proud to offer eco-friendly products that exceed customer expectations. If you have a cleaning problem, you need the 5-Star solution. Visit 5starchemicals.com or call 800-782-7019. 800-782-7019 and get the 5-Star treatment today.
You're listening to the Brewing Network. Because like beer, radio shouldn't suck.
Welcome back to the program, and thanks for hanging out with us. A lot of things going on.
I love that intro because you sound like 25 years younger than you do right now.
Yeah,
like beer,
radios,
and burpers.
I was only 8 years younger, but my body was 25 years younger back then, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you swallow things.
Before we move on, I want to remind you about our good friend over at Beersmith Homebrewing Software. You can go to beersmith.com right now and check it out and get your free 21-day trial of the Beersmith Homebrewing Software, which professionals use, by the way, also because it's a badass piece of software that our friend Brad Smith made over there. But you don't have to take my word for it because you can get it for free and you can check it out. And if it doesn't do everything that you need it to do and more, then no harm, no foul. It'll just expire on your computer and you can delete it and like your porn history.
Yeah.
But you can check it out.
You can delete that shit?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Check out incognito mode. You ever seen
Just
that?
throw the computer away.
Go to beersmith.com right now and check it out. Not only the brewing software, but there's brewing DVDs, tutorials about how to use everything. Also, Brad Smith has a podcast that you can go check out. So check it out at beersmith.com. Brad's been a supporter of this program for a long time, and we appreciate him for that. We also appreciate him for keeping the most up-to-date homebrewing software on the market. In fact, maybe even the only up-to-date homebrewing software on the market. We're lucky that he does such a good job of it.
No.
Otherwise, he would just be like the default. I guess
right?
Go ahead and use it. Turns out it's also badass.
He's an anchor, no doubt.
He's the dude. Yeah. Check it out at beersmith.com. So at the break, those of you listening live noticed that we were gone for a long time. Those of you who listen on the podcast never know this, but usually about the third break, we take a nice long dinner break. And what we used to do was eat like Togos and Round Table.
Yeah.
Which, you know,
because it was close.
Let's be honest.
We were hungry.
We're all white trash suburbanites here. It was fine. But what has happened is that we met this wonderful young chef named Rachel who has been feeding us glorious food lately, and tonight brought one of my you didn't know this because I never know what you're going to bring.
I was reading your mind.
But you brought cassoulet. I always go back and forth between saying cassoulet and cassoulet. What's the correct way?
You can't pronounce it casually.
What's the right way?
It is cassoulet.
Cassoulet. Is it a Belgian or French dish?
It is a French. It's a very
French.
classic French dish.
Okay.
Served during the cold months of the year, and I thought tonight finally it's gotten a little colder here with some rain, and I thought it would be the perfect.
It was so amazing. So the last time I've had a good cassoulet that good, actually, Sean Paxton, the homebrew chef, made it. He had made it for an event.
I think he made it for the Brewing Network festival.
What was it? I'm trying to remember what festival
it was. The first winter festival.
Oh, God, was it that long ago?
It was.
And
at
Linden Street.
And it was like only the second or third time I had ever had that dish, and I just went, this is one of my faves because it is a nice hearty like winter. Sometimes, and sometimes it has this like consistency of a stew. Yours had such like a fresh, more like a casserole.
Well, it's like a 4-day process for me to make the duck stock and all of the different ingredients, and it's sort of like the very traditional French dishes where like the next day you add the next thing, and then the next day you add the next thing, so that by the time you serve it. Like the beans for me, they can't be too soft. They have to be a little bit firm.
Like an al dente?
Yeah, like a little al dente. And so
now, see, JP mentioned that when we were eating here, and my thought was, you're right. And I love it. I love it. Like you almost go, wait, were they undercooked? No. That's deliberate.
You're so used to them being overcooked.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
falling
mushy.
apart. Like
just
I'm not trying to give you refried beans tonight. I'm trying to give you a real cassoulet.
Oh, so good. All right, so that's one of your things. It has to be a little al dente on the beans.
It just so that people know, like that.
That they're not
it's
from
carefully crafted.
That makes sense. That it's more it's fresh and crafted.
Like
it didn't sit in a crock pot for 8 days.
Well,
for
that
example.
would probably be good too.
Okay. and then like a proper cassoulet it's duck, right? Like you can't put another meat in there.
No, you can. You can put a lot of different stuff in cassoulet. This particular cassoulet actually did an andouille sausage. So I did a pork andouille that was in there as well.
With the duck.
Yeah. And I deep fried the duck skin and then...
Which is awesome.
Yeah, Bevo, those crunchy parts you were talking about, that was deep fried duck skin.
Deep fried duck skin.
Duck crackling.
You're welcome.
Or as we like, what do they call it? There's a Mexican name for it. It's called
Chicharrones?
Chicharrones.
Fucking good.
Derek, were you born in
Chicharrones.
California, Derek?
I'm actually from Texas.
Oh, you are? Okay.
That's why they used to call
there you
it
go.
Texas.
That's still, yeah.
So did Tasty tell you that he's getting his national TV
Oh, yeah. They shot
debut
the
soon?
Chopped episode.
The Food Network show?
Yeah,
Yes. So Tasty was my planted guest at the bar.
Oh.
And we did a beer pairing with the food. And I think you did really well, Tasty.
And was he supposed to be just like a stranger? He wasn't like your grandpa or something.
No.
Yeah.
No. I might have
like
licked
so
his
many
ear.
other Tasties viewings.
Those were like granddaughters, too.
What did he have any like directives? Like, was he supposed to be a dick, or was he supposed to?
All I had to do is, try the beers, taste
Try the beer,
food,
taste the food, and talk
Okay.
about the
Talk to
flavor
the,
stuff. Yeah.
So
Chef.
you a judge on Chopped Thin?
Am I going to be a judge?
Sort of. You're the plant. You're just the.
I just did a cameo.
But
I
think
this is I got the Hop Grenade logo in there. There was no logos, but I was very
He
smart.
did- he was very smart
Thank
about
you,
it.
Tasty.
But-
You're
It was like
good
the
at that.
camera guy's a big home brewer.
Okay.
He
and
was.
He never heard about the podcast, so he's going to be
I tried to
be a
get him
listener.
to come to the bottle share last night, but I think you're not supposed to fraternize. But the funniest thing about what you missed, Tasty, was they actually went in the back and they wanted to watch me make salumi. They wanted to watch me make sausage.
Just real quick. So
You know
I
your
think
way
we
around a
mentioned this
sausage.
last week, but Rachel is now a featured on Chopped, or will be. So folks haven't seen it yet, but they just started filming it.
Yes.
She's a local chef here, of course. And then, all right, so now you can go on. So now you got your feature the other day?
They did an 8-hour, 12-hour shoot at the Growler where they're filming basically like your biography. So they're like who you are and what motivates you and inspires you. And so for me, it's beer. So they said I was very unique. They had never, ever, ever filmed anybody that was beer
Where the chef
focused.
said, what inspires me is beer.
What inspires me is beer. And also they had they'd never had a classically trained charcutier on. So that was kind of like this
Beautiful.
funny thing. They were like, well, can you show us, how to make, we would like for you to set up how to make sausage. Like, we want to watch you make sausage.
Nice.
So we go to the back, and I don't know if you guys know this, but most of the sausage stuffing equipment is made by a German company, Frederick Dick.
Love it. Of course it is.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it says
Yes.
So I have a 15-pound Dick stuffer, and it
Wow.
says Dick in giant letters on the front. And they were like, well, we can't really have logos.
Yeah. They're like, I mean, normally we can, but in this case, we cannot.
So they were like, okay, just, talk us through what you're doing. And I'm like, well, I'm putting the sausage meat in the Dick stuffer right now. This is a 15-pounder, but
You
I've
don't
had
have to say the dick stuff.
You have to.
Everybody does, though. I mean,
Oh,
in
I
the
see.
industry,
Oh.
really, you're like, and
Oh,
you
really?
get the
It's
Dick
the
stuffer.
Dick stuffer. It's a normal thing.
It is. It's a normal thing. And this one's only 15 pounds, but I've had a 45-pounder, and that was glorious. Anyway, so
Yeah.
they did. So then,
There's going to be a lot of editing of this interview. If this were on the if this were on the Brewing Network TV channel, your everything you did on film would have made it to the show.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that
Everything.
they are
It's-
going to do a lot of
hitting
editing.
the cutting floor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So then they're like, okay, so talk us through what you're doing. And I was like, I'm threading the sausage condom onto the
Sausage
tube,
condom. I get
and
it.
then you have to grip it very tightly here at
Yeah,
the base
yeah.
when you're putting the sausage in the casing, because that really controls how large and wide your sausage is. And they were like, none of this is useful.
I'm glad they just told you.
They were
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
If you didn't have a clean version of your own sausage talk,
I was like, it's impossible.
You gotta find a way
it's
to-
impossible to do.
They're
Not
like-
dirties.
Can we go back to the Rachel we met when we decided we were going to feature you on Chopped?
No, they loved it. They
Okay.
were like, okay, we have to redo that. All of that.
Yeah.
So we did, and
do some voiceover.
no, I was like, okay. So then you put the casing on the,
So-
and then my sous chef comes around the corner and he sees me putting the casing on the thing, and he's
feeding
like,
the sausage.
he
Goes, I
looks
like-
right at the cameraman and goes, "She's a professional." I
How to do that?
Nice.
was like, thank you, Chino.
Now, did you feature beer and everything that you made?
So
on
no,
Chopped?
I didn't. But
Okay.
we did. They were so they so let me go with like the beer focus.
Oh.
They did the tasting thing with Tasty, where
Which was charcuterie paired with beer.
charcuterie, and also we did a dessert as well,
That's
and
right.
a couple other things.
Wow.
I think did we do the Scotch egg? So anyway. And then they had Chrissy Penny, who is our beer buyer, and I.
And she is, I think, still our bartender every now and then.
Yeah, she works here on Thursday nights as well.
Yeah.
But Chrissy and I, they had us go behind the bar, and there was a knee-deep something going on, and so we were doing like tasting notes, and the cameraman is actually a home brewer, and he you have to admit he was like so sad that like he doesn't have this community where he was.
Where is he from?
New York.
Okay.
He's from New York, and he was like, I'm so jealous that like you guys are all sitting here communing about beer, and I was like, yeah, it's totally a lifestyle.
No, I told him listen to the Brewing Network. We could be his guys.
There we go.
We're like, we'll be your friends. But
yeah, we're your community.
But anyway, so they had us tasting these beers, and then so I don't know if you guys have seen Chopped, but at the end of the bio, they do like this 3-point shot where they show you in front of the sign of the restaurant, right? And they do like 3 different shots. And for me, one of them was me pouring a beer. One was of me drinking a beer and then saying, Prost. Or cheers or whatever, and then so they just totally let me go with
be the beeriest person
on Chopped.
And this is why I asked, because I think this is great for craft beer that you're able to be in there. This great chef,
I know
that's
that,
a beery chef.
I know that like Garrett Oliver is judged on Chopped once.
Okay, yeah, good.
I know that they're trying to reach out to that community.
Perfect.
But they told me that I'm the only person. So the people filming the biographies, they said that I was the only person that they had ever filmed who was beer focused and charcuterie focused. They were like, and I'm not saying those two things combined. Either one of those things.
Either one. Perfect.
Like they hadn't seen that.
You're gonna be a big
the episode
star.
that Garrett was on was like one of the ingredients was beer for every course or something like that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, it fits, and it just has to be proven by great chefs. So,
but that's the thing. I kept saying but. That was the other thing is when we were doing the tasting afterwards, the producer came over and said, when you asked Chrissy what are the beers that we had on the tasting platter, you remembered all of them, and you absolutely were like, oh, drink this and then try this and then drink this and try this. And
professional.
That was, we do it all the time.
Beautiful.
That's what we do.
I'm glad that I wasn't there to taste the charcuterie and beer, because they would have thought I was
ravaging animals.
Well, they would have thought I was just faking it, because I love a charcuterie so much, and I love your charcuterie that I just would have sat there going, "Oh my God, this one's so good," and they would have thought like, "Okay, we know you like it. You don't have to exaggerate." But, no, I'm being serious. I'm not faking it.
Next time.
So yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for another wonderful dinner, and please keep up the good work spreading the word of good beer and food.
I tell people all the time, like we all like the people in my world like beer. Like I don't want to switch to wine when I get to my steak or my dessert. I know that there's a beer out there that's going to do it better. So
you're going to do us proud, and you're going to carve a path for yourself while you're at it. So
I am
keep
unafraid.
It up. Good. All right, thanks, Rachel. All right, so we got a little bit more to do tonight, and God, that food was good. I'm feeling so satiated,
very rich
right now.
Filling,
Nothing like duck fat. To get
Right.
I'm so content.
Fried duck skin, mixed into the thing. Oh, good Lord. Boy, have we stepped up from Round Table. Bevo, good job hooking all that up, man. You
Tasty did it.
Yeah, well, everybody, good job. I don't know who to thank.
Thank you.
I'm going to blow you
Finally, I get the credit that I fucking deserve.
Andy, you all. All right, so we got a few things left to do here. I've got another more cowbell in my glass. I don't know about you guys.
Me too.
That's
I filled her up.
I think about 5 of us have.
I'm loving this beer.
The funny thing is when you look at the color of it, and we were talking about this earlier, I know, and you go, that's probably not going to be a 2-pinter. It's going to be too sweet. It's a bunch of crystal in there.
Too sweet red,
but it's
embryo
not,
look.
But it's not that. The hue is so deceiving. It is you dried this beer out. Even with your little 1060 fiasco, while shithead over there was sitting in traffic, quote unquote,
right?
You still nailed the dryness of this beer.
But still, I mean, it's still only 10-14, so it's still, 3.5 degrees, 4 degrees Plato, 3.5 degrees Plato.
That's all body.
Gravity.
That's not sweetness.
It's not sweetness.
But it's, like I said, the sweetness is really about using the minimal color of Munich malt and minimal color of crystal malts, so you really get all these light flavors of the malt, and so it's It's not cloyingly sweet.
Well, and let's not leave out that it is the hop character is then perfectly balanced too, because you can have these sweet beers, but if you don't balance it with some bitterness, I think you kind of nailed the bitterness, Nate.
Load up on bitterness, load up on late and dry hop.
I don't know why you lose everything you enter, Nate. Big. Because you're such a good brewer.
I don't know.
I don't know how
I'm cursed.
happens.
It's a BN curse or something.
These metal guys, they sell their souls to the devil.
I know it is, yeah.
You give it all away to the brewers, and then when you go to competition...
would like to have horns. Yeah.
It's better this way. I like the participant award.
Yeah.
Did you...
I can show up at GABF every year and be
should
like,
I write
guys.
you a certificate?
Yes.
Should I give you a certificate of participation?
I got some blanks. We'll make one up.
Just pull some trinket off the wall at Moylan's and write him a certificate and give him that.
Here's a chunk of drywall.
We actually might have a couple of those falling down.
I can wear NHC awards around and be like, that's a nice kid.
Yes. All right. Well, we've got a game to play, and it's a game that we've been playing a couple times. Now, we got feedback on this game last week, Moscow. Did you modify the format of the game?
You are thinking of the rating game? That's what we got feedback on. This is beer or not beer.
No. You know what's funny is that I was typing in beer or not beer to find your intro as I was asking about the rating game. So
yeah, you need a break.
Burnt out, man.
About a year off.
Year off.
You need more duck fat.
Me.
You know what's going to fix this?
Duck fat.
Year off.
Why don't you get disability pay? Just give it all to us.
Can I see self-employed though? I don't think I can get disability.
Really? Aren't you paying in?
To my own disability? I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, you're paying in for something. That's for God.
I'm sure I'm paying taxes in some way, shape, or form into that, but I don't think I can get it back.
I don't give up on it,
I would have had to have my own workers' comp insurance for myself, I think, to get disability. So
send Bernie an email. He'll tell you how to get. He'll live on
figure this out.
You live off the land.
All right, so it's beer or not beer.
That's right.
We're playing.
Yeah, that's easy. No changes in the rules there.
What do we need?
Callers on the airs, callers.
All right, 888-401 beer
studio.
And I'll tell you what. You know what I got for the winner tonight? I got a kettle, a stainless steel kettle that I've had to give away. That
sitting in your backyard.
That we won. No, and luckily it's been sitting in my storage. And so we're going to give away to our winner tonight I think it's a 12-gallon stainless steel kettle that we won when the Brewing Network Club won Club of the Year.
Oh, wow.
And we like to give away those things.
Sure.
Well, it depends on which year I got it.
Doesn't matter. Still been a while.
We have a warehouse full of prizes.
We got two of them. They were donated to the club. We gave one away already on another game, and this is the second one. And so we'll do that. 888-401 beer. We'll take 4 callers, and then they play for themselves, and we just help them.
Yeah. So you got to get 3 in a row correct. So you make your guess right away, and then we'll all chime in on what we think.
We'll take turns giving an opinion.
Right, and then you can then modify your answer or go with your original answer.
It's all coming back to me now.
All
right. So we're going to do a little bit of beer.
You seem a little overwhelmed.
We can do this while we're drinking
so rapidly.
A little beer or not beer.
So simple.
All right. While we're waiting for our contestants to call in, 888-401 beer. If you want to play for a chance to win a 12-gallon stainless steel kettle, let me remind you about the folks over at Adam and Eve. You can go to adamandeve.com right now, and you can order all your dirty things, all your naughty things, all your naughty bits. You can do it all there. All your bits and pieces. You don't have to go to the creepy store, and you can use coupon code BNARMY, and I think what you get is 50% off an item. You get free shipping. You get 10 free DVDs. Yeah. You get a gift for her. You get a gift for him. Mm-hmm. You get a gift for both of you.
Yeah.
By the way, you don't have to be a her and a him. That's just how
it's a her and a her.
It could be. That's how they wrote it to me.
You could wear both
you could easily be a her and a her or him and a him.
That copy
and
is
nobody
old.
cares.
Right. So we're just updating it.
So I'm just saying that there's gifts for everyone.
You can be
is probably the point.
There's a gift for gender fluidity.
Yes.
There's a gift for the other gender fluidity.
I don't see why not.
And then there's a gift for you both, whatever you are.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fluidity.
I agree. But that's how cool Adam. That's how cool they are.
Yeah.
So go check it out. Use coupon code BNARMY, BNARMY. This is a real thing, and you get all this good stuff. And they're a supporter of us. They're supporting you. And again, you don't have to go to that creepy corner store or wherever yours is. Ours is the one in Concord. You ever been to the one in Concord, JP? You ever go to the physical store?
By the Chinese restaurant called the Peking Boy?
No, that one I've never been to.
It's on
the money one. I lied. I have been to that one.
Yeah.
I dated a girl who worked there years ago.
Oh.
Have you been to the one by Beer Revolution?
No.
Oh.
Was that a creepy? Like it's creepy
bad.
or it's bad? Yeah. Some of them are all right. I was talking about the one by the boat shop. There's like a boat store in Concord, too. There's one over there.
No, never been.
But you've been to the Monument one?
No, I've driven past it very slowly.
Just as slow as I can. I don't know. Going to the stores, it's just always very uncomfortable.
It is you're right.
And you don't have to do it anymore.
Derek, you shouldn't have to go there. So, yeah.
It's not like something I do, ever.
Oh, wait, no. Of course not. We weren't implying that.
AdamandEve.com. Yeah. All right. Looks like Bevo might have all our contestants pretty well wrapped up here.
They jumped right in.
We can do our beer or not beer game. I want to go to line one. By the way, just real quick, you never know what's going to happen during our show or at the Hop Grenade. We had 2 Israeli brewers show up tonight and hand us some sour beer.
Oh, yeah, this is great.
That they claimed was inspired by the program, or at least things that they learned on the show here. And it's fantastic sour beer that they brought to us.
It's very good. Levi was the home brewer of the week some months back. You may recall he Skyped in from Israel.
Yep.
And now he showed up with his still peach lambic that's really out of this world.
Is there any more of it? I didn't get any.
Here. There you go. You have to go mingle with human beings to get beer sometimes, JP.
I didn't know, man.
Yeah, they were just at the table. They grabbed me walking by and said, "Hey, would you try this beer?" And I'm glad I did.
I'm sure they'd love you to have some. I'm sure they have more.
Yeah, that's.
I think they're like pounding on the glass.
I'm just saying, hey, yeah, they're still hanging out there. So thanks, guys, for bringing a great beer in here. And this is why you should come to a live show. You never know what's going to happen at the Hop Grenade during a program. I might be here. I might not be here. But Israelis might be sitting at the bar, bringing wonderful...
it's pretty awesome.
And this is homebrew, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's homebrew.
I believe it is.
It's a really well-done homebrew. They're doing something right. I don't know how they do it. They don't even have electricity in Israel, right? It's like a whole other third world, right? It's Moscow?
I think that's all the neighbors of Israel. Israel might have electricity.
They do. I'm sure they do.
Direct fired, right?
Yeah, direct fired electricity.
It might be.
All right, let's get to our callers. Let's see who our contestants are. On line one, and someone else is going to have to... Well, actually, we don't have to keep score because they just have to get 3 right in a row, don't we?
Let's just... Yeah.
All right, well, we got Jared on line 1 who's from Maine. Jared, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. Just drinking. You ready?
Nice. Yes.
All right.
You got my intro?
We're going to give you the names of beers, and then you're going to tell us if it's a beer or if it's not a beer.
That's not a beer, stupid. That's a country in Africa.
I'm going to say that JP's Rubber Dick is not, in fact, a beer name.
You're an idiot. That actually is a beer.
Yeah.
And now, beer or not beer?
All right, Jared, you got to get 3 in a row correct. You ready?
Yep.
All right, dude. First one is, and boom goes the dynamite. That's GOSE.
Not beer.
And boom goes the dynamite.
You guys, everyone knows the reference in here, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, Gosa.
I've never heard it.
I've never heard of it, but that doesn't mean it's not a... So what did you say? You said it's not a beer?
No beer.
What do you think, Tasty?
I think it is a beer.
I think it's a beer, too.
It's a beer.
All right. Derek's also saying a beer.
You want to change your mind? You say it's not a beer?
Nah, no, I probably should, but I'm going to stick with no.
All right, fine.
All right, Mosk, what do we got?
That's beer. That's from Bose up in French Canada.
Boom.
Got to listen to the Brewcasters, man.
Good.
Is he out?
That's
he's
down.
3 in a row. Oh, sorry, dude. A strong effort.
As they say, boom.
Goes you.
Goes the guy.
All right, let's go to Barley Boy from Cleveland. Hey, Barley Boy, what's happening?
Oh, not a lot. Just happy to play.
How's Cleveland treating you?
Oh, beautiful.
Is it snowing yet?
No. We got like another month till it snows.
All right.
Drink that Fatheads.
All right. That's right. Oh, Fatheads is great beer.
I love Fatheads.
Dude, a lot of awards at that brewery and really good beer.
Fresh right there is amazing.
Yeah.
5 awards at this last GABF.
Yeah, that's serious.
Really, they kill it. And so I was at Fatheads in Cleveland drinking the wonderful beer and their enormous plates of food. Like you order a sandwich at Fatheads, and it's the most enormous thing you've ever seen. It's the size of Beardy's
That's
head.
how we do sandwiches in Cleveland.
That's Middle America portions, man.
Dude,
gotta get into it.
I ate 4 bites, and that was my normal helping of a sandwich. All right, what's the beer?
Bloodshot Iris, Irish Red.
Oh, not beer.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That one sounds complicated. Could be throwing us a curve, though. Nate, what do you think?
Nope, not beer.
JP?
Nope.
All right, everyone agrees with you that it's not a beer. Moscow?
Correct, not a beer.
All right, he's still in the running. Here we go.
Good job.
All right, what's the next one?
Mash of the Titans, Sweet Stout.
Here's what I hope. I hope that this is not a beer, so that I can congratulate Moscow for thinking of a great, great, great beer name, because this is a good one.
It's going to be a beer next week.
Oh, man.
I would say...
Wait. But did we get Barley Boy's guess?
No, we didn't get his guess yet. Yeah.
No, oh, crap. I don't know. I'm going to say not beer, but I think I'm wrong.
All right, you say not. What do you think, Tasty?
Sounds like a Scott bad combination of a good name and a bad beer style.
Oh, yeah, what was the beer style?
Sweet Stout.
Sweet Stout.
Like
Mash of the Titans, Sweet Stout.
Yeah. Sounds made up to me. But.
What a great name.
Yeah.
It'd be like an Imperial Stout or something. Like Mash of the Titans. It's got to be
like
some
three mashes to make like 7 ounces of beer.
Yeah, it's like some 20.
It has to be like a German decoction mash where you had to really go nuts.
That's true.
What do you think, Derek? Beer or not beer?
Not beer.
All right, Derek saying no. JP?
Nope.
All right, and it sounds like Barley Boy's saying you're going to say no? You're going to stick with no?
Definitely no.
Man. All right, Moscow, what is it?
Definitely a beer. That's from Odell in Fort Collins.
Oh, shit, Odell,
Holy
too.
shit, really?
We should have known that.
We should have known that.
And it's their bad name with style, Tasty.
That's right.
All right, Barley Boy.
They get my insult.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, Barley's out. Sorry, dude. All right, then we're going to go to Chris from Newport, Oregon. Hey, man.
How's it going, guys?
It's going well. I'm coming to your state next week.
Oh, again? I want to see you guys again.
I'm going to be drinking some beer in Oregon.
Yeah.
All right, what's the beer?
We all drank at Robed.
Oh, of course we did. Nice. I don't know that I'll be coming through Newport this time, but I'm coming through Oregon. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's give him his beer name.
Boom Shaka Lager.
That's another one, Moscow, that I hope is not that you made up.
Shit.
If the Brewing Network had a brewery, I would change all of our names right now to Boom Shaka Lager.
You'd get a call from their attorney. I think that really is a beer.
Chris, what do you think?
Oh, man. Fuck you, Moscow. I'm going to have to go. Sure.
I'm going to say it's a beer name. Oh, man, this one's tough. What do you think, Derek?
Fuck. It's like... I think it's a beer.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Unless Scott's getting better in his old age.
He's getting good. Tasty, what do you think?
No, I think it's a beer. I think I've heard of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Names these days, there's
Scott's
like
pretty
names
crafty,
for everything.
though. He's getting craftier in his...
I think it is a beer, and it's not a good beer for some reason.
It's one of those categories of the GABF that they actually might win.
They're like, fuck it.
It's like
American Light Lager, Boom Shaka Lager.
It's like two Miller beers, and then that one at the bottom. The Boom Shaka Lager for third place.
For the
adjunct lager.
No beer.
JP's thinking not a beer. All right, Chris, what did you say?
I said it is.
All right, you say calling it a beer.
He's right. Yeah, that's from Terrapin.
Terrapin, nice. Oh, and it is a good brewery too, so it's probably a good beer.
It had to be.
It's an Imperial Lager coming in at 9%.
Okay,
it's a big boy.
Boom Shaka. That's what you say with a 9% lager.
All
right.
Next one is Thrilla in Vanilla Porter.
I like that one.
I like that so much.
That's got to be real.
That's such a good name. It's got to be a real beer.
Chris, what do you think?
I'm saying no.
Really? There's no
Really?
way that a brewer hasn't thought of Thrilla and vanilla.
With like 4,000 breweries now.
Exactly.
Somebody hasn't come up with Thrilla and Vanilla.
All right. You want to stick with that, Chris?
Vanilla Porter? Yeah, what are you going to call it?
Yeah, I'll stick with it.
All right.
Are you saying no?
It's a beer.
It's a beer,
That's
Chris.
from Double Barley Brewing in North Carolina. As a matter of fact, I had that.
I thought it was too obvious.
Right.
Too obvious.
Right. That's where he gets you.
I actually saw this on a Simpsons episode, a recent one. They had like a chalkboard in the background at a bar, and there were craft beer choices. And I paused it. I took a screenshot because there were some really good ones. One of them was Thrilla and Vanilla, but I Googled it just to make sure no one thought of it. But in point of fact, yeah, Double Barley had it.
And maybe they didn't think of it. Maybe they saw the same episode you did.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Sorry, Chris. You're out.
Damn.
All right. We're going to need some more contestants because we're down to one. And which means if Joe from Napa doesn't win right now, we'll need more. So 888-401-BEER, give us a call. We haven't given away the kettle yet unless Joe from Napa steals it right now. Hey, Joe.
What's up, Justin?
How are you, man?
I'm pretty good.
Good. All right, let's give him his beer name.
By Felicia IPA.
By Felicia?
Yeah, by Felicia.
Did we seriously just go back to Martin?
Yes, we did. Well, we went back to Friday.
I'm going to say that is not beer.
Yeah, I got to agree. I want it to be. And again, if the Brewing Network had a brewery right now, it would be. But I'm thinking not. Anyone think otherwise?
No, I don't think it is.
All right. What do we got, Musk?
Not beer.
All right. Well done. Bye. All right. You're still in it.
Good reference, though. I like that.
It was a good reference.
Oh, yeah.
This one goes to 11, American Amber.
Oh. I'm going to say yes for Doc.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
No?
First of all, I'm going to give you my logic here. It's too long. But more importantly, I'm going back to the name and beer combo. No one's going to call an American Amber this one goes to 11.
No, it's
if it was like triple IPA, they'd call it this one goes to 11.
So we've actually had that tagline for our super hoppy hop crack 10.5% hoppy beers. So,
okay, yeah.
But like for an American Amber?
No, it doesn't make sense, right?
1996 goes to 11.
JP,
Wait,
what do you think on this one?
What is going on?
No.
Not a beer.
No.
Yeah. Nate?
Nope.
All right, everybody says not a beer. So, what do you want, Joe?
Oh, man. Tasty. You're my man, dude.
Not a beer.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Tasty Man.
All right.
That is beer.
Oh, come on!
That's from Bell's in Michigan.
They're fucking this up
terrible.
right now.
It should be like a quad or like something big, massive.
Yeah, you can't call America. Are you sure on the style?
Yeah.
You're positive?
100%.
All right, new rule. They're like, when it really is a beer, you got to have it here.
Yeah, because we don't believe it.
You don't believe this shit.
Wow, did they do? That's not right. That's a waste of a good name on American Amber.
It's as bad as Spinal Tap.
And a great contestant. Thanks.
You know what, though? That's what it would take for me to drink an American Amber. It would have to go to 11.
For the record, too, it's an 11% American Amber.
Then that's not an American Amber. It's an Imperial Amber something or other.
Yeah, do-over.
Yeah, we call that barley wine.
The style's American Strong Ale.
It's listed as an American Amber here.
No, they fucked that up. No, 11%, that's not an American Amber. So
they're fucking with you, just like Nigel did. This one goes to 11.
Oh, no. Well, shit, when you put it that way, then maybe they do have it right.
Nigel Peppercock?
All right. Sorry, Joe. You're out, man.
This one goes to 11.
Oh, well.
All right. Thanks, dude.
Follow-up album.
Rick the Desert Dick.
Thank you.
Joe needs more cowbell.
Where is Rick the Desert Dick when we need him?
Anybody got 2 in a row?
Fresh white Reeboks down
Permanently burned into my brain.
down in Bakersfield somewhere.
Who's back on one? We got a Keith from Ohio?
Keith from Ohio is line 1. Yes.
It's a lot of Ohioans tonight.
Ohio.
Keith, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
You ready to play?
Absolutely.
All right.
Sounds like he's in for Drunk of the Week, too.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Let's bypass that.
You're winning something one way or another. All right, what's the beer?
Apocalypse Cow Double IPA.
I hate you, Scott.
Oh, my God.
They're all so good, this game. What do you think, dude?
Say it one more time.
Apocalypse Cow Double IPA.
That's a very...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was
I'm
tough.
Not a beer.
Not a beer. This one's 50-50, right, guys? I mean, who knows?
Dude, it's like a big beer with like lactose milk sugar in it.
It's not a double milk stout.
Apocalypse Cow Double Milk Stout.
It should be.
These people are getting their styles all wrong.
It should be.
It's a great name.
That's what it should be.
All right.
Imperial Milk Stout. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say it's a fake, but I really want Scott to have really nailed it.
I think it might be.
That's a great name.
I think it is.
You think it's real?
I think it's real.
Really?
Yeah.
I also think it's real.
I think it's fake.
real.
You think it's fake?
Sounds fake to me.
Because there's Spotted Cow.
Yeah.
There's Apocalypse Cow.
Sometimes the name gets defined before the beer gets brewed. Now, this is one of them.
That's true.
This is like something from like 10 Barrel that they put a bunch of milk sugar into, like the Apocalypse.
To their IPA. All right, Keith. What do you want to stick with?
I think you guys are really persuaded me here. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to say that's a beer. All
right, I hope we didn't screw you over. We haven't been doing too great tonight, but he says it's a beer.
It's a good last-minute switch. That is a beer. That's from Three Floyds.
I knew it!
Nice.
Wow.
All right. Keith is still in the running. What's next?
Let's see. Franken Reichenbach Doppelbock.
That actually just rendered everybody speechless.
I actually think...
What am I hearing?
I think I've heard of it, actually. I know that sounds stupid, but I think I've heard of this beer. I think it's a beer.
Just like from Wisconsin or something, maybe?
I think it's a beer. Anyway, that's just me. Keith, what do you think? JP says no.
I'm going to go with JP. I'm going to stick with JP here. Let's say no again.
All right. Says no.
Not beer.
Not a beer.
Nice.
JP for the save. Getting Keith to 2 beers in a row.
All right, buddy.
One more, and you've got a kettle.
Bear down here now.
Take the crown.
Genghis Pecan Porter.
Another good one. Jesus just came in the studio. I don't know if you guys...
I've never seen his hair down.
I think that's against his religion to do that.
You don't even know. You don't know what his religion is. My doppelganger just walked through.
We have a more Israeli still lambic. If anyone would like some here.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right, Genghis Pecan. What do you think?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that's a beer. Let's just go. That's a beer.
Do you want anybody's opinion?
I agree with him.
No, JP's sticking with you. He said it's a beer too.
JP's doing good.
Yeah, JP's been doing great tonight. Actually.
What's tasty? What's tasty stuff?
I think it's a beer as well.
Okay.
It's a beer from some brewery in the South.
Yeah, I like
pecans in it, like 512 or something.
First of all, don't go with me. I'm going to give you my opinion, but don't. I'm terrible at these things. I don't think it's a beer because I have faith in humanity. That somebody wouldn't name a beer.
Scott's smirking over here. He may have really nailed it.
Pumpkin brown ale with pecans. With vanilla beans.
Holy cow.
It's too much for my little brain to handle. So I'm saying it's not a beer.
You see Scott thought of that? Wow.
Are we giving Scott too much credit?
All right, anybody else want to weigh in?
You've asked everyone.
This is tough.
You got Tasty and JP saying it's a beer, and you got me saying it's not. That's all you're gonna get.
All right. I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm gonna say it's a beer.
For the win, that's a beer.
Well
Yeah, nice. That's from Clown Shoes in Massachusetts.
Okay. Keith, good job.
Who makes it?
Clown Shoes.
Clown Shoes.
Clown Shoes. Oh,
yeah.
I've just recently seen some Clown Shoes on the shelf here in Ohio.
Well, there you go.
Good story, bro.
When you look at your kettle, you have to think of them.
That's right. You're gonna get a
just like a good contract brewer to sit there and ask somebody to like dump a bunch of shit in their beer.
Oh, Derek's properly at the right level now. This is good.
All right, Keith, you're going to get a nice stainless steel kettle, courtesy of the Brewing Network Club. And just stay on the line, and Bevo will take care of you, okay?
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks, brother.
Thanks for listening live.
Yeah.
By the way, this one goes to 11 as an Imperial Red Ale.
Not an amber ale.
Not an amber ale.
See,
I'm looking at Beer Advocate.
Where did you find it?
On Bell's website.
Oh, on the Bell's website. Yeah. Goddamn interwebs.
Fucking internet.
Listing them different everywhere.
Yep.
Now, Imperial Red Ale, now that's This one goes to 11.
And so Rate Beer has it as American Strong
it's so
style,
much. It was
which
so
is
much
why
funnier.
because there's no Imperial Red category.
Yeah,
so that makes sense to actually name it properly.
I still prefer to make fun of people for
that's why you
naming
don't trust
things wrong.
fucking Rate Beer sites, dude.
It was or the interwebs in general. We must check 7 sites and then come to a consensus.
Cross-reference and vote
from here on out.
You have to
cross-reference and vote.
And so I'm sure we'll get a cease and desist on the more cowbell.
Yeah. There must be other more cowbells.
There are like
right?
7 on Rate Beer. So Buffalo Bayou in Houston, you're welcome to send something. It's awesome.
Because
we'll exchange beer with you.
Or who's made it a production beer? Like who's selling like thousands of bottles or
probably
kegs?
nobody.
Buffalo Bayou in Houston.
They're doing a lot.
Russian River has made a beer.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
They made it more
That's
cowbell?
funny.
So if you're welcome to stop by at any time. Drop off the letter in person.
Because really, Derek never wants to brew with Nate again, so he doesn't care if he has to stop.
He's burning the bridge right now.
Yeah, this is like a way for him. Now he can politely let you down. He can go, "It's not you, Nate. It's that we got sued over the cowbell thing."
And then I'll think of another name and be like, "Well, I'm really busy that day."
No, renaming it that would be the same. No, we're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the lawyers said just never talk to you again.
It's like the soft no. You know?
Is that why you played Blue Oyster Cult in the beginning of the show?
Yes. It wasn't at the
For
beginning of the
Lords.
show. It was at the beginning of the segment that we talked about more cowbell.
No, it was before the show started.
Oh, did I play it there
it's
too?
played multiple
But I
times.
played it as the intro to the segment of the beer as
No,
well.
I was in the bathroom having a wank.
No, it was during the show, which is when you stop paying attention.
Yeah, I don't pay attention. I don't even know what's happening right now. Are we done
You're
yet?
There, yeah. All right.
Attention. I don't give a shit.
I know you don't give a shit. That's the deal.
Who cares?
All right, we're going to take a quick break, like a really quick one. And when we come back, we're going to do Drunk of the Week calls.
Well, the audio does not seem to be working on this computer.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we have no Drunk of the Week calls.
I have them. I just don't seem to be able to play them at the moment.
That's no problem. I don't like listening to drunks anyway. We're going to take a quick break anyhow. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with Derek from Moylan's Brewing Company. And you can do live Drunk of the Week calls if you want. 888-401-BEER. Give us a ring. We'll be back. It's The Session, live from the Hop Grenade. We're having fun.
You're listening to the Brewcasters. Brewcasters on the Brewing Network.
Beer tasting games that train your palate, a brewery locator, and the brand new interactive beer style guide. These are just a few of the awesome things you'll find on craftbeer.com. The style guide is a beautiful example of technology in beer. Browse beer style families or turn on the automatic beer style finder and explore beer through color, bitterness, ABV, aroma, and flavor. It's really the coolest way to explore every beer style besides having them all in front of you. Go to craftbeer.com and click on Beer Styles to start the guide. Plus, enjoy the rest of craftbeer.com, the Brewers Banter blogs, beer education, how to host a beer tasting, and the invaluable Draft Quality Manual. Tons of great content that makes your beer better. Visit the new craftbeer.com right now and explore the website that brings you all the passion, camaraderie, and creativity of the craft beer community. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on 2 gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy.
Williams Brewing is your online resource for prompt delivery of quality home brewing supplies. Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and the freshest ingredients, backed by the best customer service in the business. Do you like to mash using efficient fly sparging, but would like an easy way to heat your strike and sparge water? Enter the new Brewer's Edge electric mash water heater, a plug-in, anywhere, precisely controlled heater for strike and sparge water. Ditch the fumes and second burner and make mashing easy. Go to williamsbrewing.com today and browse their vast selection. That's williamsbrewing.com. Orders placed by 4 p.m. Pacific Time weekdays ship the same day. Brewing is easy the Williams way.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamel Zanishev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
Segmented, demented, fermented.
It's the session.
All right, welcome back to the program. Thanks for hanging out tonight. We've had a great show. Thanks to our sponsor, More Beer, for bringing the show to you. And, of course, thanks to our wonderful guest, Derek Smith from Moylan's Brewing Company, of Moylan's fame, of Black Diamond fame, of GABF medal-winning fame, of double kilt lifter fame.
What?
Whose idea was double kilt lifter?
Brendan's?
Derek.
Brendan's actually.
Weird.
Imagine that.
So this is actually the third time we've actually made double kilt lifter. We usually normally save it for every 500 batches.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we actually were coming up on the 20th anniversary of Moylan's, which was back in August. And so we were coming up on batch 1750.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, it's not quite 2000, but let's do double kilt lifter. And Brendan was amiable to do it. And then at the same time, we actually party guiled the beer. So we actually made 2 beers out of the same mash and made a 10% even stronger wee heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also made a 4%, I don't know what you would call it, 80 shilling, 60 shilling kind of beer.
Mm-hmm.
That is really malty, but still is very sessionable at like 4%.
Nice. Folks at home, I have on a side note, I have a recommendation for you. Go over to YouTube and Google Brendan Moylan and then add like barley wine or kilt lifter or something. Just do Brendan Moylan and then add
something
and add that to your search, and then you're welcome. Enjoy the results that
we actually had like those videos were being made, and they were like, do you want to do the videos to me? And I was like, sure, I'll do a couple of videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like 3 or 4, and they were like, let's just have Brendan do it.
Yeah,
because Brendan is so much better at it than I am.
He's a fucking maniac. That's why. He's fantastic.
Because what Brendan does is he'll have a couple beers, and then he'll have a whiskey, and then he's just wired. Like,
he
that's
is
just
wired.
It. He wakes up and he's wired from start to go.
Yes.
Like
And end.
There's something that just clicks on him.
We admire that man.
I do, and I love his attitude about the whole industry. And all you got to do is listen to his show to know. But just trust me. Just go to YouTube, Google Brendan Moylan barley wine, and then spend the next hour having a good time.
Yeah, because there's like 9 of them.
There are like 9 of them, and he does them for both Moylan's and Marin, and it's him. I don't even want to say too much.
He's standing in front of the bar, and he's like
talking beer.
He's talking beer, and just talking about like things that we put into the beer and
how they make him feel, how they make you feel,
how they should make him feel, or like it's.
Just trust me, just do it.
Yeah.
A lot of feelings.
Yeah, and then go to the brewery and have a beer with Derek is what you got to do.
Yeah.
All right, so what's in the glass here? The Christmas beer?
Yeah, so this is our. We just came out with the Christmas beer. It's actually we're filtering the second batch on Wednesday.
Oh, that's nice.
So when I first started at Moylan's, the Christmas beer was a golden lager.
Really?
And I was like, why do you make a golden lager with spices for Christmas?
What was the answer to that?
Because
fuck you, Derek.
Yeah,
right.
We make wheat beer for Christmas. What?
We make wheat beer. Yeah. So I was like, why do you do? And I was like, I'm going to make a change. And it was very council of one that made that decision.
180 for sure.
You did it. All right.
And I was like, I'm just going to do it. And Brendan, I don't care what you think. We're going to make a reddish brown lager, and I've since changed it to a reddish brown Belgian ale.
Okay.
With spices. Because
I really want to hate it because I'm not a fan of
spices.
But you know what? It's pretty damn
It's
good.
pretty damn tasty, right?
He doesn't even like salt or pepper.
No,
or
nothing. I want things. I just want like Wonder Bread.
It's very Christmassy, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of spices either.
I really want to hate it, but it's nice.
But the spices are, I think, in check with the rest of the beer.
Yeah, they're just
so the idea is that what we do is we actually dry spice the beer. And
wait. What does that mean?
That means so we actually don't add very many spices into the kettle. And so we actually, after fermentation, we actually add the spices into the beer.
Okay. So instead of dosing it sort of after, that you're not screwed.
And then, so we're not actually blowing off those flavors during fermentation as well.
Yeah.
So the actual spice flavor isn't like volatilized during fermentation as well. So we're not actually overutilizing spices during the like just dumping it into the end of the kettle.
Have it go away.
The idea is that we actually use hot water, make a spiced tea, and then inject the hot water spiced tea into the beer.
Okay. It's a good method. It's working for you.
Because the spices will then kind of... So we actually toast the spices, and we actually use 6 different spices in this. It's... now let's remember if I get them all. It's... coriander, cinnamon, nutmeg, mace, cardamom.
Allspice?
No.
I was thinking there must be allspice, but no.
No, it's
ginger.
No ginger. Grains of paradise.
Okay.
Peppers. Cheese.
That too. Orange peel.
Potato skins.
I think that's it.
McDonald's French fries.
Grasshopper penises.
And actually, on my way over here tonight, I was like running off the spices in my head. And
You're trying to, because I know those idiots are going to ask.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm going to bring this beer. They're going to ask me all 6 spices, and then all of a sudden, I'm going to be like blank on the last spice.
Yeah.
You can always just say that
tarragon.
It's a secret.
The secret sauce.
Saffron.
Right?
Secret sauce.
It's a nice Christmas beer. Pick this up on your shelf.
Smoked malt in that other beer.
You're going to like this one. Your friends will like it too.
It's like 20% Vienna with Pilsner malt, with 15% Munich and 15% Cara 20 and 5% C77, 5% Special B, and then 5% dark candy syrup, which I love.
Candy, huh?
I love dark candy syrup.
What's the ABV on this beer? Approximately
6.1%.
6.1, nice.
So Brendan,
beer's not that dark. A lot of people would think it was dark. It's only like 20.
I think it's around 22 of the SRMs. So it's kind of like I was going for something along the lines of when I first did the recipe as a lager, I was looking for a Danish red lager, and then kind of transitioned that somewhere between a double and a Danish red lager, and kind of went with it with the candy syrup, and
it worked.
Yeah, the more I drink it, the more I like it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You'd think that it was an 11% beer with that result, but it's not. At a 6.5, it just means it's a good beer. All right, pick it up on the shelf.
Yeah, Brendan.
I'm in the spirit already.
It's Christmas time.
Right.
All right, let's. We got to do a little bit of drunk of the week because it looks like I have a phone call. I have a Lulu Gumshoe.
Oh no!
On line one, I met Lulu Gumshoe this past weekend for the first time.
She's a lovely, lovely lady.
Hi, Lulu.
Hi, Justin.
Are you calling in for drunk of the week?
Yes.
What have you been doing all day? Drinking?
Mostly I've been snotting it up because of the cold.
Oh,
you're medicating yourself.
Why you got to tell me all that, Lulu?
She's into fluids, I guess.
I don't need to know all that.
Best way to fix that is whiskey.
There you go. Drink some whiskey.
Whiskey.
When I shook your hand, I might have transmitted some microbes.
Oh, you know his weak spot.
That's the worst thing you can tell, Justin.
I'm so glad, although I'm not sick, so it's fine, Lulu. You didn't hurt me. Nah, I would have gotten it yesterday. I have a very weak immune system.
He's going to go home and take a shower now, maybe 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I met Lulu at Disneyland, of all places. I went to Disneyland over the weekend. I went on one of the JP excursions to Disneyland because I'd been saying no for years, and I thought it was time to say yes.
Yeah, give me a yes every once in a while. It doesn't hurt.
And I met Lulu Gumshoe there, and your husband or boyfriend? I don't know these things.
My husband.
Your husband.
Yes,
there we go.
friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Her gender fluid life partner.
Yeah, thank you. A lovely couple, despite the snot, apparently.
Well, by the time Disneyland came around, I was snot free, but then it came back.
Then it came back.
So,
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Lulu, if I'm sick tomorrow, I will never speak to you again.
Hella sick.
All right. So, have you drank a lot tonight in order to get rid of your sickness?
I did, because I was tired of feeling shitty, and I'm like,
good call.
I just want to feel, So
that's how you know you have a problem.
No, because I was just gonna say
that's when you know.
I thought I was the only one who did that. Here's what happens: I get sick, and I'll go for 3 days. I'm like, yeah, I'm not drinking because I'm sick. Yeah. And by day 3 or 4, I'm still fucking sick, and I'm like, well, fuck this. You know what? To feel better is catching a buzz. And you know what? It works every time.
You don't think it's just because you're catching at the tail end of your sickness and it was going to go away anyways?
No.
No? No, that would be logical.
No, it's clearly the alcohol.
So now I don't even wait.
Yeah, so now it's not
It's not that your body has fixed itself. It's the fact that the booze fixed you.
Right, because it's with the cold. I'm not talking like the flu and stuff. With that one, you got to ride it out. But with the cold, it's day in and it's day out. It's the same thing. And finally, you're just like, you know what? When I drink, I feel better.
Maybe that's why you have a weak immune system.
It could be.
It's like
but
Billy
Lulu
D.
knows
Williams.
what I'm talking about.
My friends are cold. I always give them cookies and ibuprofen.
Oh.
And they swear
it's always
best.
cookies.
That it works?
It's always cookies, right?
You don't care if you're sick, and you don't feel any pain. So
See, I would try that, Tasty, if the cookies wouldn't make me go insane. My brain goes nutty. But
not far to go. Man.
Exactly.
Others have a different result, I find.
All right, Lulu, come on, scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you?
I'm probably a 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
She sounds depressed about it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish I was a 9.
Well, she just realized she had life tendencies that matched yours. So.
She's very
the
sad.
sorrow.
Way to bum her out.
She's like, man, I could have drank 2 more shots of whiskey before I called.
I had kind of a question for you, Justin.
Okay.
So, 3 weeks off, right?
3. Yes, I have 3 weeks off. Yes, this is my last show for 3 weeks. Correct.
So does that mean we'll get to see more Cash Cab shows?
Oh.
First of all, mine wasn't called Cash Cab. It was a ripoff of Cash Cab, and it was called
Money Car.
Yeah. Carpool Showdown.
Yeah.
Carpool.
Oh, yes.
No, I'm not going to do other work.
Pants off, dance off?
Yeah, you would think that if I was leaving, I've done well at creating this persona that when I'm not here, I'm working.
No, you haven't. You haven't done all that.
Have you?
No, I'm around, but I'm leaving for a week to Portland, and then I'm around, and I'm just not doing shows.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, no more cash cab for you, Lulu.
But you were better than the first guy.
Thank you, but the first guy fucking sucked, so that's like, Although he has like a professional broadcasting career, the first guy.
Well, it sounds like the second guy kind of sucked, too.
We did get canceled.
Yeah.
Let's see. He did 2 seasons, and then they hired me. I did 2 seasons, and then they canceled the show. In my defense, they sold the TV station. It was under new management.
Yeah, and the new management was brought in to help the failing station.
Yeah, it wasn't due to my poor ratings, which were poor.
Okay, what about if you do something like Real House Husbands of, like, San Francisco kind of thing?
I hate television.
He has to be married first.
I like watching television. Don't get me wrong. I hate doing television. I think, Lulu, this is what I was getting at. If I could just be on the road and do content from the road, I might enjoy my job again. I might like it.
Me too.
Like, I want to do it,
Me too.
I don't know.
I like doing TV. I thought it was fun. I had a blast.
Do you like to do a remote every week?
No. I do not. No, I hate remotes. I don't want to do remote every week. I would just do like recorded interviews. You know what's weird is in the beginning, the reason we do a live show is that I hated anything recorded. I thought that it didn't feel like radio, but now it kind of feels like I could get some fresh content in. I don't have to do the same kind of stuff, but it has to fit within the context of a live show. So I like the idea of going out and doing recorded content to send back to the live show. So that when you guys go eat dinner or whatever, there's a little 30 minutes of, like Moscow used to do with the Short and Black or whatever it was called that you did. What was that?
Short and Stout.
Short and Stout. Sorry, different show.
Different thing.
Like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, but like Justin style?
Yeah. Well, when you say it that way, God, what a bore I am. But yeah,
I love that show.
I don't know. I just want to go do other. Yeah, I just want to do things. I want to do things.
Yeah, you should.
I want to do things while not doing things. Yeah. That's basically what I'm getting at. That's my dream.
That's
I want
a challenge.
I want to do things without doing stuff.
Right.
And get paid for it.
Yes. God. And I'm so close. Like, this is the problem. If this were, I'm so close to exactly that it feels tangible.
I know where you're coming from.
It sounds ridiculous, but it feels tangible.
Life struggles.
It can be done.
Can be done.
Well, depending on your genetic background, there are dudes who make a living just donating their sperm.
Yeah.
No. Do not do that. No.
I do
no.
I have a lot of sperm.
$50 a pop.
Dude,
God, I'm going to throw up. Stop it.
I could easily do that 4
on the
times
road?
a day.
You're going to do that on the road?
You know what? That's more money than I've ever made at the BN. I could 4 times a day at $50 a pop.
And every day.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I might as well get $50.
Paper towels would be disappointed.
You can tour the country.
Yeah. I'm on 2.5 today, but I had to leave. I was late to get here, so I got another 1.5 to go.
You got half. I looked into donating my poop.
You did.
I also looked into donating poop.
Where did you look into this
It's online
thing?
But it's a very hard job to get.
You have to have like the best poop ever.
And I don't.
What is the purpose of the poop?
You can't drink for that job.
What
it's not a research position?
No, it's like kids people who the good bacteria in their gut.
Yeah.
Didn't we cover this on Lunch Meat once?
Yes.
It's people poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, really?
Bacteria.
And you both looked into it?
Oh, yeah.
Hell
yeah. I'm doing it anyway.
How far down the FAQ did you get before you realized you're not eligible?
I got to question 1.
What was...
I don't know.
Is your poop solid? No. I'm out.
No. I didn't really look into it. I did kind of read the article though, and I was like, huh. And then I was like, that's nasty.
What are they looking
JP,
for?
what
I'm
interested.
Have you autoclaved your ass recently? No, I haven't.
No.
You're not qualified.
Chip, what made you disqualified?
I think it was that they were saying it's such a small number, like not just anybody can do it. You have to go through a lot of different health screenings and stuff. And I'm like, fuck.
Be like rare.
I'm too lazy to even get paid.
I was going to say, so it's back to the old I'm not good enough.
But
you just...
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I'm not even good enough
Question
to
2
poop.
is, have you ever had cancer?
Oh.
Is it really?
Oh, dang.
Did they ask how your
Which is
fart
a really
smell?
mean joke.
All sorts of...
This was it, actually. There wasn't a local one. So, like, this one is, can you make daily trips to Medford, Massachusetts? No. Will you be 18 to 50 years old? Yes. Is your body mass index lower than 30? No. Do you believe you're exceptionally healthy? Hell no. Can't do it.
All right, so you're...
Are those really the questions?
There we go.
Yeah, I answered no to all of those.
Yeah.
All right. Well... Lulu, all good questions. Thank you for playing along.
Okay.
Lulu, you should call up every week and ask one
poignant question of the Brewcasters.
Well, I did have one more, if that's okay.
That'd be next week's, I think.
The floor is yours.
Don't blow your wad.
I was wondering what's Tasty's go-to recipe for his prescription cookies?
That's like trade secret.
That's more proprietary than Janice Brown.
Well, PM me and I'll send you the cookie recipe and the butter recipe.
There you go. Private message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Message for money.
All right, Lulu. Lulu, what the fuck? You're our drunk of the week. I don't care. Congratulations.
Well, you can tell she's drunk because she's not nervous.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right, Bevo is going to send you a Drunk of the Week medal. Have you ever won Drunk of the Week before, Lulu? I forget.
I have not, actually.
All right.
First time.
Do we still have medals left?
We do. I have like 2 left over.
Nice. Getting one of the last ones. All right, Lulu. It was nice to meet you over the weekend. Thanks for playing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you and Kate, you guys are just awesome. I wanted to say that, too.
Thank you. We had fun meeting you and standing in lines together.
Hang up. You're drunk. Don't say goodbye. Just hang up.
She's nice. Leave her alone.
Bye, Lulu.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
She's great. I'm just trying to help her out.
All right. Twitter game. Our Twitter game today was who of the Brewcasters would make it into the Brewing Network Hall of Fame.
God, you're so
First round.
good.
I'm so good
First
at this
ballot
job.
Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I should stick around.
Here goes first rounders.
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Giles Hash said Bevo should be in there for putting up with all of us.
Oh, for sure.
Winner. Done.
And done.
And we're done here.
Harry Beaver Brewery. So apparently this is a 14-year-old on Twitter.
Well, there is a Belching Beaver Brewery.
Right. They're 16. They said, Doc, it cost him his marriage. It's the least we could do.
Wow.
Dang.
Too soon.
That one cut deep.
He goes, I mean,
Yet
shit,
accurate.
She even got the brew house.
She didn't get the equipment, though.
Yeah.
Wow, that's close to home.
Yeah,
stings.
Right?
Listeners are going for the throat on this one.
I think if you were to interview Doc's wife about the cause, she would list it up high. The Brewing Network is high on that list.
Oh, dang.
Me specifically.
Yeah, she hates you.
No stripper pole discussions, though.
She hate me.
She
All
hate
right.
you.
She hate me. Mets fan VI says anybody but Moscow.
No reason?
No reason.
Had to give a reason. Disqualified.
Disqualified.
Double Blaze
not nice.
Brewing says Doc for the longest downward spiral in history.
Oh, damn.
True. Also true.
Nate.
That's still funny.
That's still funny.
Wow. They're like tailspin for years.
Nate Guide. Guy. Guid.
Nate Guy?
Nate.
Nate Guide.
Nate says the flushing toilet in the background.
Okay.
But no reason.
That's old school.
Mark Wilson says Jamil, his lack of fucks given now compared to when he started is award-worthy.
You know, that's actually not... Knowing Jamil, he didn't give many fucks in the beginning either. He just faked it better.
Right.
Fake it
Anyhow.
till you make it, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Baruz says Johnny Plisse for talking Jamil into doing this crazy podcast thing.
Yeah,
that's
okay.
nice.
That's a good call, yeah.
Gimme Good Beer says Moscow for tricking his father into investing in the slow-motion train wreck.
It's more of a medium motion.
That's true. Josh Button, which is pies, we all know. Moscow for misling the rest of the brewcasters out of so much beer. Blobber Gleeby Glooby says, Chicken Boy John Plisse, most excellent work on lunch meat. And there's a quote, apparently. Ever wondered if the real Pope has ever yanked it?
First of all, John was on lunch meat?
But I'm sure he maybe came with me. I know he came with me a couple times from Moorbeard to do the show.
Okay, yeah. And that's a good quote.
That's a great quote.
Yeah.
And everybody yanks it. It's just what are you thinking about when you do it?
because yanking it is not illegal.
No, it's not.
Lusting is illegal.
But I thought spilling what comes out is illegal.
Nope. Only lusting. No, you can spill all you want.
First of all,
yes?
I'm pretty sure it's not illegal.
Spill all you want.
Well, you
Spill
get the
all
idea.
you want.
You get the idea.
Spray texture anywhere.
It's illegal in the eyes of our bartender, Jason, who looks like Jesus.
Right.
Oh, my God.
And then last but not least, Jeff Growlnick. People's last names are fucking weird, man.
Yeah, Petros.
Jeff says JP's thyroid for almost getting the job done.
Wow. Not too soon. I like that one a lot.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Good.
And there you have it.
Hard.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Pretty
that
sharp.
One is...
They're not holding back tonight.
That's a kick to the junk right there. I love it.
Between you and Doc, I mean, damn.
All right, that one... Or the two Doc ones. Can you read those? Can you read them again?
The longest.
The longest. Okay, that one. Yeah, don't have to read the other. Okay,
right.
so the longest downward spiral either or almost getting the job done. Gonna have to put it to a vote.
Oh,
No.
man.
All right, Ray. Oh, hang. I have to think about this for a minute. Best Twitter game in a long time.
Pretty good, huh?
Right out there.
I thought it kind of sucked, but we got some good responses.
Now the listeners came through.
Yeah.
Which one am I? Oh, God, that one's... All right,
Should
I'm
they
ready.
both win?
Well...
Doc's not done spiraling.
Oh, damn.
That's true. He's still on a...
Well, I think that's
he's still on a 14% grade.
Yeah.
The same grade that caught the brakes on fire in the RV, if you will.
Going down Mammoth, right?
All right, if it's Doc's the longest downward spiral ever, raise your hand. If it's JP's cancer almost getting the job done, unanimous. It's JP's cancer.
There you go.
All right, that's our Twitter winner. Send Bevo an email, bevo@thebrewingnetwork.com, and you will get, you're entered to win a chance to win a cabin on the Labruski cruise, which we'll be giving away, I believe, in December. We're going to do the raffle.
Yeah, the Christmas show.
On the Christmas show, and then you can plan your action and come with us in March. For those of you who are not entered to win, just click the Labruski Cruise link on our homepage and go get yourself some tickets. Come party with us. Really, we are kind of a riot.
It should be a good time.
Should be fun.
What we do is we drink away all our discomfort, and then it's the best time ever. So come hang out with us on the Labruski Cruise. All right. Is that going to do it?
That's going to do it.
We done.
I feel like that does it. All right.
Gone.
Next week is an off week.
No.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't.
No, next week's off. It's on the calendar. Next week's off week, but then JP and the crew will be here. JP will be your host on the week after that. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Nate's funky ass back in here.
Oh, Nate, are you coming in or what?
What? I'm going to stink up this place again?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you coming to do a show over, Nate,
Yep.
or what? All right, good. What are you guys going to cover? Hops?
Probably hops.
Yeah, imagine that.
But I don't know, working on a show, Nate and I'll rap about it a little bit. I think it's going to be something along the lines of how to do a hop selection as a home brewer.
Okay.
Make sure what you're getting is good stuff.
I like it. All right, so tune in a couple weeks, and the session will be back. Derek, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's been a long time coming.
8 years.
I know.
We finally got you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome.
Well, it's fun to talk beer with you, so let's not make it 8 years again.
Yeah, let's make it like next week or something.
Yeah, on our off week.
We'll see you here Monday.
Right? I'll be here next Monday.
Next time come in with
myself.
Next time come in with Brendan. I preferred that you didn't come in with Brendan this time because I wanted to get to know you and talk beer with you. So this is not what I mean. But what I mean is you two are different people, and I think it'd be fun to have you both in the studio next time.
Because we'll play off of each other, and we'll both get drunk on whiskey.
Exactly.
That's kind of what we do.
And then I'll get you both to say anything I ask. All the secrets will come out, the whole thing. So,
That's what's going to happen.
That's what's going to happen. All right, so next time it's the both of you. Thanks for being on the show, man. It was a good time.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
The beer's fantastic. Nate, you do a good job sometimes.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I love that beer.
The A for effort. And T for no award, but A for effort.
You do a good job.
I'll give you a ribbon after this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give the man a ribbon.
Pull one off the wall.
All right. Are we done?
We done.
Great.
We gone.
JP, get us out of here.
Thank you to our show sponsor, More Beer. You get absolutely everything you need to make great beer at home by going to morebeer.com. Derek Smith from Moylan's came out to the studio to fill us in on what's new at the Bay Area brewing staple. Check him out at moylans.com. Merge your love of Disneyland with your lack of engaging podcasts and go to earsuppodcast.com as JP, Terrence, Bevo, and Taryn talk about all things Disney. Go check out Moscow's Hop Cartoons over at hoplifestore.com. For some good beer insight and homebrew info, follow Nate Smith at Nathan Homebrew and Mike McDowell at Tasty McD. Production director on the session has been Push Eject. Today's show has been produced by Scott Moskowitz. JP was nursing a sore thumb from playing FIFA 16 all day. Bevo was smuggling 2 midgets in her sweater. And your host was Justin Crossley. Be sure to find the Brewing Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
JP's an asshole. Justin's a nice guy and when